1.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. This sports program starts right now. Football is happening. We're just one day away from preseason week 2 for most teams kicking off, which means we are just
22 days
away from NFL football actually happening in beautiful Kansas City as the Detroit Lions attempt to live up to the hype that everybody is giving them in their first attempt of a 2023 season on maybe making the playoffs for the first time in a long time as they take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who will be hanging a banner celebrating another Super Bowl championship in a dynasty in the making. We're just 20-some days away from that, but right now we got a lot to talk about. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor with his mullet. Looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, getting the hang of it. We're hitting a hot streak here in Back Porch Barber. He did his deed today as well.
Yeah, JC, obviously the Thunderdome barber comes in every single Wednesday, wakes up at like 3 a.m. to drive from where he lives out in bumfuck Indiana.
Yeah.
Drives his way up here, always has great attitude, and his scissors are always hot.
Oh, yeah, snipping.
He's fantastic at what he does. We appreciate him, and your mullet is doing great things. Good vibes coming off of that dome today, just next to Ty Schmidt. Ty, I know Hard Knocks has got to be tough for you to watch because of how happy it seems that Aaron Rodgers is to be a New York Jet and how much say he seemingly has over there. Everything he dreamt of as a Green Bay Packer, and he even made reference to it to Bryce Young, like, it's weird being in a new place after you've been at one place for a long time. And he said, I wish that for you. He wishes, obviously he wishes Bryce success, but I think he also said, I hope that you end up at the same place for a long time because there's something special about that. I think Aaron truly felt that way, but things happen, and obviously he moves on into his next chapter in the big city, and Hard Knocks is captivating this year. Hard Knocks is good this year. Hard Knocks last night was a great episode. We'll continue to dive into it here in a matter of moments as we introduce the rest of the incredible crew. Is that a 3/4 zip hoodie with the fucking cowboy hat on one half of the hammer down Cowboys?
You're goddamn right it is. Good eye out of you.
Yeah, I was checking it out. You're a pretty good dresser. I think you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you do. You think about what you're putting on your body,
We
which
all
is
do.
you don't. It is obvious.
I lay out my outfits the night before, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You have
Yes, I
two
do.
outfits: asshole and bigger asshole.
And I lay them out every night. I'm not disagreeing with the asshole, aspect of the outfit, but I still lay them out every night before.
You look good.
With all due respect.
Thank you.
You do your thing. Normally, Ty's the sweatpants guy. You're the. How did that get pieced together as an outfit guy?
A lot of blues and blacks together for some
and
reason.
off colors.
Blues and blacks go together.
Yeah, see, it depends what blue.
Yeah.
You know,
All
that's
of them.
See, you caught part of the message about blue and black.
No.
But you didn't catch all of the message about like an incredibly dark blue. Not supposed to be paired with that. But we're not even fashion gods. Okay, I wear a tank top every day. What I'm saying is, you clearly don't care what you look like in public. We know that.
I disagree.
We know that. Ty is a comfort, leisure swag. Tone cares about his outfits. This is a good one. I think you should feel good about this.
I really did. When I put it on today, I thought about what you said yesterday. When someone puts on they think about it and they put it on, they put on a jacket, they want it to be noticed. And I said, you know what, today I want to be noticed, okay?
Yeah, and that's why I said, hey, nice 3/4 zip hoodie.
Really nice of you.
Not only because I don't think I've ever seen something like that before in a long time. Does it have one of these or no?
Does it have pockets?
The what?
Oh, it's got zippies on the side.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the new one.
Yeah.
That thing's the cargo shorts of hoodies.
Yeah.
Damn, good for you, bro.
Thank you.
Shit.
Another man that dressed better than all of us,
Yeah,
obviously,
that's
on a
true.
day-to-day basis. He dressed. You need to stop with this.
Not today.
That's not
Just
even a question.
Yeah, today he looks awesome because he's repping the team that obviously he played for the longest and the city that he currently resides and the team that we'll have the head coach of joining us in about 10 minutes, the Cincinnati Bengals. Pac-Man Jones is here.
Yeah, Pack. Boy, Pack.
How you doing, Pac? You doing good, pal?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
What's
I'm
wrong?
doing all right.
What's wrong, Pac? What's wrong?
Right, you seem a little down.
I'm just waiting for Coach, and when Coach get on here, I'm just gonna let him know. If Tone say ask a question, just do this.
Just flip him off. 10 digs, that guy right there. The guy in the three-quarters
I'm
said,
not
buddy.
afraid to call him a loser and flip him right back up.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
If the guy in the back asks the question, name Nick, just say,
Two back-to-back AFC championship games, this guy. You're going to call him a loser.
No. I'd probably take the jet route and call him a dickhead.
Well, that was to a 15-year-old kid.
It was.
Yeah.
Jet Passon really throwing his fastball, looking like Nolan Ryan at 63 last night in that John Boy Media video, where I believe it was Passon's kid and his friends taking on somebody.
Right.
And, Passon thought that this kid had a little bit more riz, than what he was showcasing in the conversation. So Jet Passon said, you know what? I'm a published author. I'm a fucking media guy. Let me ask these questions. And this kid stiff arms Jet.
Yeah.
And Jet gets this. I brought you into this one.
Yeah.
Not happy.
You don't have to be a little dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the Jet's back.
yeah.
That tree tried to get him.
Yeah.
Tried to get his back.
Yeah,
it did.
And Jet's back.
just back.
With a new back and also backing it up that he ain't got time for anybody's shit, including 15-year-olds who are going to act a little bit high and mighty. Jet, great to see that, pal.
Love you, Jet. Keep flying.
I hope Zach Taylor comes in. I hope you have a great conversation with him. I'm excited to chat to him. Also, another head coach joining us today, Arthur Smith of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a mustache.
Yep.
Big storyline, mustache. Not for everybody, he said, literally as he got there. I watched the end of the Miami Dolphins Atlanta Falcons preseason game, and there was like 58 seconds left. I don't remember the exact. But Artie Smith was up like 20-3 or something like that against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And he was calling a timeout or something because he wanted to work on some. And they had a close-up of McDaniel wearing these like trippy yellow sunglasses. He looked so cool.
Dahmer.
Fresh fade, obviously. No headphones on because they're down 20-3. There's 53 seconds. And they had the camera on him when Artie like called a timeout or something. And McDaniel like looked across the field like, what are we? And then they showed Artie on the other side. He's still,
Yep.
we need to be doing this. We need to be doing this. I wonder where he's at. Because when he takes over that Atlanta Falcons team, there's no expectations.
No.
Artie Smith, not like a glamorous name either.
No.
This guy was sleeping on a couch in Tennessee. Was he the guy that was the reason they were successful, or was it Vraves, or was it LaFleur there, or was it? There were so many other names we didn't really hear Artie. So when he was hired at Atlanta, I don't think expectations were high at all. Julio Jones wanted the fuck out of there. Matt Ryan wanted the fuck out of there. They had no idea what it was going to be. He just instilled a hard-nosed football team.
That's right.
We're going to run the ball. Cordell Patterson becomes just an X-back pretty much for them, getting the ball in every single play. Now they got a new rookie quarterback, or not second-year quarterback in Desmond Ridder going into his first year as a starter out of Cincinnati. And a lot of people say, this guy looks like a 55-year-old.
Yeah,
He
he
does.
You know what I mean? He played a lot of football at Cincinnati, won a lot of football at Cincinnati. What will he be able to do now that the Atlanta Falcons are his team? I'm excited to hear what Artie has to say. Remember, son of a Marine.
Yep.
Also, son of the man who created FedEx.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Okay, so Artie Smith, with his mustache having ass, could literally be sit up in some office somewhere.
Yeah.
This is just like Schultze. Could be up in some office somewhere collecting a check for the rest of his life because of how rich his father is. Now, there's a story about his dad where he went to Vegas, won like a blackjack tournament or something, and that funded FedEx to continue going. They were going out of business.
Yeah.
He goes to Vegas, actually bets on himself, wins, is able to keep FedEx alive. FedEx obviously now this juggernaut Goliath in logistics everywhere in the entire world. Artie could just be doing that.
Yeah.
Easily. Just how you doing? Keep it moving.
Chilling.
Instead, he picked the miserable life of being a football coach. And although I assume it's fulfilling for him to see teams come together and players get better, it's like to choose that over what he could do, we respect and appreciate, but we will remind him of that fucking shit when we talk to him today in the second hour.
Have to. I mean, you kidding me? This guy could be making, $150 million a year, just basically.
Well, he will. It's like when his dad passes.
Yeah, exactly. But he doesn't have to be sleeping. He could be sitting on a computer playing solitaire all day, doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. He doesn't need to be, putting in 19, 20-hour days, being miserable, being super stressed out all the time. But he chose to do that.
He said his dad forced him that way.
You know why?
Right? The last time we talked to him. Go ahead.
You know why? Love what you do what you love.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Keep
did
it
love
same.
football.
Yeah.
And I think Schultz said this, and I'm not saying Artie Smith and Schultz are the same, because Schultz would smack, or Artie would smack Schultz in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Schultz would actually dissipate.
Yeah,
Clay
he would.
melt.
Marine dad, Starbucks founder dad, a little different.
Well,
Yeah.
Taking the Marine.
Genes are a little different.
Yeah. Yep.
But we still respect both of them for what they do, even though somebody took quite a shot at them there.
was a compliment.
But Artie Smith told us his dad wouldn't have let him, basically.
No.
Like our dad ain't gonna let.
No, you're going to work.
Yeah, he ain't gonna let me just sit here and let. oh, you think I went to the Marines and you think I went to Vegas and bet it all in this fucking company to be good so you could just sit on your fucking ass? Go sleep on a football facilities couch for the next 7 years straight. Don't see your family.
Nope.
Print out play sheets. Run and get coffee for these guys.
What?
Win some football games. And maybe you'll be something at FedEx.
And we'll talk.
And then Hardy's like, I guess. And now he's the head coach of the fucking Falcons.
Yeah.
Unbelievable story. Can't wait to hear the expectation on In the Trenches last year. A.Q. Shipley, former offensive lineman in the NFL, he literally had the Falcons on like the first 4 weeks because their systems, their schemes, how they were doing. But then they just stunk. We couldn't have them be on every single week. But they were a lot better than we expected them to be.
Yeah, they were great. And then the phantom call on Tom Brady on Grady Jarrett basically ruined their whole season.
Yep, and that's going to change a lot of things. Did he throw or did he place quarterback on the ground? There's going to be a full convo. Can't wait to chat with Artie. He, I don't know how many full interviews he does.
Yeah.
He's pretty press conference.
Yeah.
We're trying hard, thank you. We're running the ball right and to the left.
Yeah.
Next question. Yep, we agree. Nope, football. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
Bingo.
That is what he is.
No nonsense.
He is bang. So we got to get him a little bit.
Yeah, and then he's drinking beers in the locker room with his team after wins. So he has it. He's just
His players love him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Players love him.
So it's somewhere in there. We got to try to find it, even though we probably won't. And then playoff PGA champion from this past weekend at the St. Jude Cup down in Memphis, where it was 175 degrees. Lucas Glover will join us.
Okay.
Hey, that's big. Look at us.
Come on, Lucas.
It's a couple different sports.
That's right.
Yeah.
Champions in both sports.
Aren't we? I mean, that's real. That's a real deal.
Yeah.
That's a big day.
Yeah.
That's a big day.
That stash. Holy shit.
I'm pretty pumped about today.
Juiced up. I had no idea when I came in this morning that we were having 3 legends on.
Yeah, I actually saw you and heard you when you realized you're packed it. Good day.
Holy shit.
Zeke, this is a good day.
Yeah.
This is a good day today. Yeah. It is a great day. Let's make the most of it. I do believe joining us right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this man was hired as the Cincinnati Bengals head coach. In the first couple years were not great. A lot of people were wondering, how the hell is this guy going to be able to survive in the NFL? He was hired allegedly because he had a cup of coffee with McVay, but his offense ain't worth a damn. Insert Joey Burrow. Insert Jamar Chase. Insert his culture. Now it's back-to-back AFC championships and something that every single year we will be expecting at least 11 to 17 win season. Ladies and gentlemen, no pressure. Head coach of the Bengals, who have an indoor facility now, Zach Taylor.
That's right. I appreciate you guys having me on. That's quite the introduction.
Hey, Coach, you deserve it, man. And I think we've been pretty open with you that, like, the first couple years, whenever you got to the Cincinnati Bengals, we had the same thoughts as literally everybody because it's not easy to be a head coach in the NFL. There's a lot of fired head coaches. I forget the number. It was like $200 million or something.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah, like 500.
800 maybe.
Yeah, whatever the number was being paid to fired coaches in the NFL by the owners across the NFL because there's not a lot of patience and it's not an easy job. Those first 2 years, I assume you would even say tough, very tough. But then you kind of get your culture instilled. Now you have your team there. You got your trigger man, we hope, with his calf. Yep. You got incredible weapons. You got a defense that's there. Expectations are high. What is life like now, knowing that the expectations are vastly different than what it was before? And how do you handle that with your team?
That's what we've always wanted from the jump. You know, since we were 0-12 and no one's at the game, rightfully so, and we're struggling just to get a win, and now the expectations are very high. This is what we signed up for when we got here. And so we welcome those expectations. We're excited for the season to get going.
Do you have to change the way you talk to the team with expectations? Obviously, it's different teams. You talk to them differently. Have you changed since those days? Has the message changed? Or what is it? How is it for you?
Yeah, I'm sure things have subtly evolved for me and the team. But really, these guys are guys that kind of have a built-in chip on their shoulder no matter what. That's a big reason why a lot of them are here. And so you combine all those types of guys and types of personalities, and they've always got that right edge to them. And so you don't always need to construct a message to get them going. These guys, it's pretty built in for who they are. And I think that's why we've had success the last 2 years the way we've had it.
So what do you do during the off season now that your team is where it is? Are you trying to figure out how to get better? How do we get – AFC is fucking loaded, Coach. And now obviously the NFL is hard. Every – conference is loaded. Every division is loaded. Yeah. It's the NFL. But the AFC right now, because of you guys, and because of the other teams in the AFC, is very, very loaded. Do you have to think about new strategies, new schemes? How do we get over the hump? How do we go further? Or is it just we got to do what we got to do and get better at our shit? Like, how is the offseason for you as a head coach of a team that's expected to win a Super Bowl basically every year now?
Yeah, you said it. I mean, it's a combination of the two. We've got really good players, so you don't want to deviate too much from what they've done really well over the last couple of years. But at the same time, you got to continue to evolve and tweak as teams trying to catch up to you. So the one thing we believe is this is the toughest division in all of football, the AFC North. Yeah. And so if you can win the division, be in contention for the division, you're battle tested and ready for the playoffs. And so, again, that's what this division serves us so well when you're competing against those three other teams and the histories and the players and the coaching staffs they have. It gets you ready for December and January football. And that's what we found these last 2 years. And so we strive to be the best team in the division. If you can come out alive, you got a pretty good path in the playoffs.
Thomas said it's hot in the kitchen. The AFC North, it's hot in the kitchen every single year. Smash mouth football due to how the stadiums are constructed and how weather happens. You have to be tough. You're the play caller, though, and you got Joe Burrow, okay? And you got Jamar Chase out there. And you got T. Higgins out. You got weapons everywhere. How hard is it not to just have him throw the ball 65 times? Honestly, like as a play, with how much talent you have, you put me in Madden, and I'm not good at video games, but you put me in Madden and I have the talent you have, it's like, sweet. Every fucking play, we are wide open. As a play caller, how have you developed with this team? And is it hard not to just go with all the weapons that you have?
Yeah, we get pretty close. We throw the ball quite a bit. We leave those guys on the field, and I think Jamar had almost 100 plays in the season opener last year against Pittsburgh. He was targeted, I don't even know how many times. So that's certainly a mentality that we have. At the same time, we're playing some pretty good defensive line, so you got to do what you can to take the pressure off the line and hand the ball off and run some of the things that can manipulate the defense that way. But yeah, you said it. We got a good group of receivers, and we don't want to let everybody off the hook by not trying to get them the ball as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't know how Joey's going to keep everybody happy with that ball, but I guess you have him on the field for 100 plays.
Yeah.
Hey, we fucking tried. Yeah. We had you, we had you out there the whole time. Whenever you talk about your offense and being able to run the ball to help the defensive line in everything, all the defenses that you're going to kind of face, you guys didn't have an O-line for a while. Documented. We all saw it. It was a big part of the conversation. Now, you had humans standing in there, but for whatever reason, they were turnstiles, and Joey Burrow was getting broken in half, and you guys were still winning games, though. Like, still, he got 7 times against the Titans in the playoffs, win.
Yes. Yeah.
Then next one, I think, like 9 times on the road, win. And then Super Bowl, I think he 8 times.
8 times.
Last play, going to get it again. Almost, I mean, we're like this. So everybody knew that entire offseason, got to fix it. You guys invest in it. Then for like the first 6-7 weeks maybe, and then it kind of settled in. What was it you think that really got your guys to the turning point to become a good group together? And was there any moments where you worried, like, we're never going to be able to figure out this offensive line?
I think that culture in that O-line room has really evolved over the last 4 years. Frank Pollock's been here. He's worked really hard to establish the culture he wants in there. We've got the guys that fit that culture, signed some free agents, drafted some guys. So we feel really good about where that room's at and the identity that they have. And, they're always together. You're in the weight room. You see them in the sauna. You see them in the weight room. They're always together. They're always eating together. And that's the type of O-line culture that we want from our guys. And so, again, I'm proud of the room that we got right now, and we're expecting big things from those guys.
Were you ever worried, though, that Joey Burrow was going to die on a football field? You know what I mean?
I see a lot of quarterbacks get injured over the course of the season. If you look around from team to team at the end of last season, that's just the nature of the game, man. The great ones tend to hang on to that ball a little bit longer to the last second to make sure that they can let that guy get open, and, they're going to scramble if needed. And so sometimes those guys are going to take some hits. And, I think Joe, if he wasn't playing football, he'd be like an MMA fighter, or if he had to go to the other side of the ball, he'd be a linebacker. So that's just kind of his mentality a little bit. I think he likes it to an extent. We got to do our best to protect him, but that's just kind of the mentality that Joe's got.
Yeah, we got visibly frustrated with him whenever he told us, and this was after he took that one shot in Philly where his head actually went off of his body. And
that was on a naked. He reversed course on a naked. We're going out one way. There's no protection the other way, and he reversed course. And I think Fletcher Cox or one of those guys got him.
Yeah, and it was clean. I've never seen that clean of a shot. His head with the helmet off the body. And then he came back in. I think you guys tied the game, I think, is how the whole thing ended. So he came on our show, and it's always great to chat with him. And, I asked him, like, hey, I saw you lose your head against Philadelphia, and then, like, there's these other shots you took. Like, I was a teammate with Andrew Luck. Like, I understand that it's, like, cool, and that's what football is to you, but you need to, like, think about the whole program here, and the whole NFL. And he said, I like getting hit. I have to get hit. If I don't get hit, I don't feel like I'm in a game. And I was like, oh, no, Joe. Like, Joe, this is not what we need to hear, but I think that's what makes him great, though. What have you seen from him? Another year, and obviously we know the calf, but, like, Joe seems to have it, right? I mean, like, everything that they talk about, all those top caliber athletes in every sport, the competitive drive, the spite, seemingly, the work ethic, the humility, he has it all. That's what we see from outside. What do you see from behind closed doors from when he came into the league to where he is now? And what do you think about him as a competitor as a whole?
Yeah, you said it. He's different. He's rare. You have to be around him to be able to describe him. If I sat here and someone hasn't met him and they ask for a description of him, I say I can't do it. He's got an edge to him at all times. He's just got that killer instinct, and he's a champion. And he won't settle for anything less. And so that's what you want in your quarterback. You've been around some great ones before. There's kind of a quality that's indescribable, and that's what Joe has. And so again, he's had a great attitude here in the building. We'll be excited to get him on the field whenever that happens, and he'll be ready to go and lead us to a great year.
I saw him running with that sports bra on.
Yeah, he looked good.
He had that sports bra on that he was throwing.
Yep.
I saw him on it. Did you see that, Coach? It was on the internet. I don't know if you
catapult. Yeah, you're talking about the catapult. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to make that different. I mean, you do whatever you got to do, but they're putting some people in some interesting spots. They are. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean,
every week
I wear a tank top every day of my fucking life, so I'm not saying anything. But there are some things that kind of pop up. But we did see him moving. You guys are having no worries about Joe Burrow and his comeback time and everything like that?
I feel good about the progress he's making right now. That's what you're getting out of me.
Few weeks from a few weeks.
I think I could really start picking, though. You know what I mean? You're like a real good guy. So last question for me, and I know Pack and the boys have something. We appreciate your time in the middle of watching. Yeah. How'd the boys do, by the way? What are we watching here? How'd practice go?
Practice was good. Yeah, yes. 2 days ago, we had a great practice. So we'll get back at it today and then get on the plane and go see Arthur Smith and his crew tomorrow. Yeah. So we're excited about that.
Anything you want me to say to him? He's coming on like an hour.
No, we texted a little bit earlier, so I think we're on the same page. So, yeah, nothing needed from me.
All right, let's stay away from the quarterback, stay away from the kickers, stay away from the punters. We're not bringing any blitzes, right?
Speaking of kickers, Pat, 2007, I'm playing in the CFL, bored out of my mind, and I played college fantasy football, and you were the kicker on that team in 2007. So I've kind of always had a soft spot for you. All the games you helped me win there in 2007, playing college fantasy football when I was in a hotel room in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
You're playing college fantasy football? You love fucking football,
I was.
bro. You love football.
I was.
Yeah.
Or I was really bored. We only had 4-hour work days from 8 to noon, and so I had to figure out a way to spend my time from noon on. And so I played college fantasy football, and you were a big part of that.
Man, I missed a few that year. I didn't know the pressure of what was going on up in Canada. I wish I could have made your life a little bit better there a couple different days. But boy, if I knew where that ball was going more often, that would have been a whole different story. I was going to hit it every time. I was going to kick the ball every single time. Sure. Hard. I'm going for it. Didn't always know where it was going, Zach. Your guy right now, he's going to be like one of the greats when it's all said and done, old Money Mac. He's phenomenal, bro.
He's on a great pace, and he's just happy-go-lucky guy. Same attitude every single day, doesn't ride the highs and the lows, and pretty dang good golfer also.
How are you? You a stick?
No, terrible. 19 handicap.
Oh, okay, bogey golfer. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
you're a style.
That's right.
Bean from Buffalo, the GM, he came in here and sandbagged us. Yeah. Just took us for $50,000 charity or whatever. He's like a 4 or 5. Who has the fucking time?
Ridiculous.
How do you have the time?
Kevin Huber. Kevin Huber was my partner in my member guest tournament I played in this summer, so he always carries me to a pretty good victory there.
So what you say, hey, Kevin, you're going to have to fucking retire. You don't have it anymore, but also need you to golf with me? Is that how that went?
Correct. That's exactly how it works.
I love Huber, man. I went to college same time as him. When you were doing college football fantasy, I hope you drafted him because he was really good at Cincinnati or whatever. Then we get drafted same year, him obviously before me. Then every training camp, Colts and Bengals played. So, I've stayed very close to Huber. What a legend. Absolute legend. Moving on from him, probably not easy at all for anybody in that building, I'd assume.
No, it's a challenge, but he's still around. He still comes to practice and came to the preseason game, and I went to his retirement party the other night, so he's doing really well.
Was the retirement party at the Blind Pig here? Listen, this is a cool thing. We pulled up this picture.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I saw it happen, it made me feel like it was like what people describe as the old days. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, it is thought that the celebrations in the cities after like football games or something good happened, everybody somehow at the same place, everybody sharing the same moment with the same vibes. So whenever you were on a microphone, I think at this place saying, hey, this game ball is for all of you, I'm like, how did they pick that bar? Is that where Zach gets boozed up at?
Yeah.
Is that where he's a regular? And also, how did this become a thing? I think everybody should have this. I'm sure Cincinnati loves everything about this out of you.
Well, the first bar I gave it to, Mount Lookout Tavern, is right by my house. So I drive by it twice a day on the way to work, on the way home. Always see people in there. Always kind of envious of, hey, on a Thursday night, Sunday night, that's what they get to do.
They
while
got
we're at
Dollar
work.
Wells.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know what they got in there, but anyway, as we're walking off the field to beat the Raiders for that first playoff win in however many years, I'm immediately trying to get the ball and get someone to write the score on the ball and send it into that place. So we've had a fun experience doing it. It's pretty random how we choose them. The real challenge is after away games, when we get back at midnight, calling the bars to see if they're going to be open, while also not trying to give away what we're doing, because I like it to be a surprise and you walk in and nobody knows where you're coming. So I've been hung up on many times trying to call a bar to make sure they stay open, and they keep hanging up on me at midnight. So there's been a couple missed opportunities by a couple places here in town.
Well, they need to, hey, listen, Ohio,
Yikes.
okay, in the Cincinnati area, let's stay on our P's and Q's. Okay, we need to celebrate this dub. That's old school, Zach. That's old. That's not like, that doesn't feel like a 2023 thing at all. Your whole team feels old school. Like Joey feels like an old school guy. The way Lou Anarumo, and I mean, you
take care.
You got like an old school college feel over there. Do you guys sense that? Do you sense that in the building?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I really do. I mean, these guys are, they want physical practices. We also do a great job, I think, taking care of them during training camp, so they're fresh throughout the year. But they got that mentality, you know, and it's, I can probably list 20 guys, you know, that I think are big-time leaders on this team. And so, again, I think these guys are built to the right stuff, and that's why we've had the success that we've had.
Hell yeah. Hey, you do pretty good too, pal. Yeah, you do pretty good too. Pack has a question for you, Zach.
First of all, I want to tell you, Coach, you're doing a great job. We're a bucket hat team. You know, we wear bucket hats. My first question was, the defensive line and the linebackers look great. We lost 2 safety last year, but Cam looked really good yesterday. DJ Turner looked good also yesterday. I think Lou is doing a great job. Can you tell us about the young guys in the secondary and the safeties?
Yeah, so I'll start with the safeties. You know, we took Dax Hill in the first round 2 years ago. He played a smaller role last year, but now that we lost Jesse and Vaughn, he's going to have to step up and sign Nick Scott from the Rams, who played 4 years there. Took Jordan Battle in the 3rd round from Alabama. We think highly of him. So it's a good mix of guys that are going to fit into that room. And then, like you mentioned, you know, we got Cheeto Awuzie coming back off of the ACL. You know, he'll be back here sometime. And so, again, he's a starting corner, high-end corner in this league. You got DJ Turner, Cam Taylor-Britt, Mike Hilton. We feel like we got a really good group in there on defense.
Yeah, nobody will hire Lou. So that's
Thank
good.
God.
No,
That's
we
good for you
don't
guys.
want Lou to go nowhere.
Yeah, I understand. That's
I
what
keep calling all these owners, telling them how bad he is. So
so it is you. Yeah, it is you.
Makes sense.
Because we're out here wondering, because he comes on the show, he's awesome.
Yep.
Like, absolutely awesome on the show. Your guys' team, incredible on the defensive side of the ball. Seems like everybody's bought in on every single play. It's like, that's what we're looking for right there. And then it's like, how many times have you been interviewed? Like 4 times or something like that. How many years? 70 years. What? What the fuck happened? How did this happen? But I understand it's good for you guys, but as a team that's been through like 6 coaches here, you know, in like the last 7 years. I don't know how we didn't let Paisano slip through our grasp.
One time.
Hey, early preseason, early training camp, defense beat offense always? Or are you keeping track of that type of stuff?
Yeah, I don't always like to look at it that way. If I feel like it's tilting that way, I might have to set up a drill where it goes the other way.
Yeah,
fast.
smart. Yeah.
So yeah, we did a get back on track drill yesterday, and the defense, you know, they won that drill. And I'm calling plays on 2nd 10, 3rd 9, and I thought that's the last time I'm ever doing this drill. So you walk up the field feeling bad about yourself. So we tried to set it up to where we have a little bit of success on both sides.
All right. We're going 7-on-3. 7-on-3. You guys get one single high safety, 2 corners, and then we get to kind of run our thing. I love that. I love everything about that. Connor has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you just mentioned kind of the physicality of the practices and how the guys like that. But, I mean, summer days in Ohio, it's not always, the coolest. It can get a little hot. How do you kind of temper expectations with fighting during the preseason? Because obviously that's a big thing on the internet now, especially with the joint practices. Like you guys going to Atlanta, I assumed you might have told Artie Smith, like, hey, our guys might kick the shit out of you because they've been waiting to fight some dudes for a while. But how do you kind of relay that to the team and also still want to have that fire in the practices?
Yeah, we preach, in a game it's a penalty, but I get that these guys go against each other enough to where their frustrations can get the best of them sometimes. So we practiced with the Packers last week. We got in 2 fights, told the team no fighting, got in 2 fights. It kind of, guys were able to get it out of their system a little bit. Nobody got hurt.
Whoa, are you losing the locker room? Whoa. You told him no fights.
It was in the moment, that's not what we wanted, but the guys were able to handle the business on the next play and get good work done. So they got out of their system and we had a good practice.
It's impossible. Like, we have talked about it as
impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I know. It is I don't even know how you would. I appreciate that the coaches have to say that. Like D'Amico Ryans yesterday, who's probably been in
them.
Oh, yeah.
How many? I have no idea how many. He's like, yeah, we got to tell him we got work to do here. We're not trying to waste our time on fights. I'm like, yeah, you can say that. Just as somebody that has been on the other side right behind everybody.
Right.
Just watching, like, I don't think anybody's hearing that message.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think that one's going in one, right out the other. But it's good. If your team didn't, wouldn't you be worried? I think.
Sure. Yeah. We might not have had any fights my first 2 years here. So it might be a good thing that we've gotten a few last year with the Rams and this year with the Packers.
Okay, let the boys go ahead. Sort it. Look at you getting a culture. I love that. Go ahead, Tone.
Coach, you talked about the division and the AFC North and how tough it is. Harbaugh and Tomlin have been there for a combined probably 40 years, I think now. Has the interactions with them who've been there forever, has it changed from your rookie season as a head coach to now coming off back-to-back AFC championship games?
I don't think it's changed. It's everyone's always cordial with each other. Obviously, we've had different in-game experiences now. The first 2 years, they beat us every time, basically. And these last 2 years, it's been a lot more even. So, but it's always respectful.
Those guys.
I think those guys have done a great job with their teams. And so it's always a respectful attitude towards each other.
Who would win in a fight, you think? Tomlin, right? Probably.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I'm a quarterback at heart, so I haven't been in a whole lot of fights in my life. So I don't. I'd give my best, though, Pat. I can promise you that. I'd go down fighting.
I think Cincinnati loves to hear that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cincinnati, whenever you guys got like an Ohio guy as your quarterback, is there anything better? Your like that stadium, the jungle. It is watching at home. It feels different from watching it. It's like, hey, that's a college atmosphere there. Like the crowd, the city. You said the first couple years, obviously, there wasn't some people, it wasn't filled up every single home game because you guys started 0-12, and the team was like, this ain't what we're spending our money on if this is what you're doing. Now, complete opposite.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Bengals fans as a whole, and where do you rank them across the league? And I know this is like a super pander question, but I think it is like a real thing to talk about because some fan bases really affect, I think, like how the team performs. And it feels like your atmosphere is one of those now, especially with how Joey is getting momentum going. It's like, that's a real home field advantage in the NFL where there isn't a bunch of them, I don't think.
You're exactly right. And my first exposure to this city was in 2012. I was at the Dolphins. We played, those 2012 Bengals teams. Those were good, hard-nosed teams. And we came up here. We stayed the night. UC had a game the night before. Then we played the Bengals the next day. I remember walking away thinking, this place is incredible. I've never been to Cincinnati before, but their fan base in both college and pro is next to none. And I've really experienced that over the last 5 years here. We feed off these people. They feed off of us as well. And so it's a small, big city, and so you feel like you know everybody around. It's not one of those big New York or anything like that. And so I've really enjoyed being here. And like you said, we feed off our fans. I think our fans feed off of us.
Got to keep that show going.
Yep.
With that in mind, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I know this isn't necessarily your jurisdiction completely, but after Justin Herbert's contract gets done, everyone immediately goes and says, okay, well, when are the Bengals going to get Joe Herbert or, Burrow done? And then on top of that, you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Is that the kind of thing where, like, are you just kind of letting Duke handle all that stuff? Like, is it difficult navigating that? Is that something you have to constantly keep tabs on, or is it one of those things where, hey, I'm just assuming these guys know we want them in Cincinnati and something's going to get done, and I'll just kind of worry about the day-to-day stuff on the field?
Yeah, I really leave that to the front office. I found that's better. But again, I always told the players I'm a resource if you need it. But we've been really fortunate that these guys have gone about their business the right way, and not creating any issues with us. And so been fortunate that way. Again, these guys know I'm here if they want to talk about it, but I do leave that to the front office and let them handle all that.
Why don't you guys just give them all the max contracts?
Yeah. Void years.
That's how it works. You know what I mean? That is 100% how it works out here. You've done an incredible job coaching that team, bringing in a culture that I think everybody fears now. The Cincinnati Bengals, nobody wants to play the Bengals anymore. You should be incredibly proud of that. And you got an indoor dome, huh? Yeah. We're using that. We're using it, aren't you? Using it?
We just did our walkthrough in there 10 minutes ago. It was great.
Soft? You feel like you're getting softer as a team, or you think?
No, I don't. I sure don't. No, we got it last October. We use it about 3 days a week. It's been outstanding.
No, you guys, it'll make you soft. I heard the reason is it make you soft.
Elements.
You know what happens?
You know what? I did play the opposite side of the coin for the 3 years leading up to having it. We got to be outside. We're playing all of our games outside. The road to the Super Bowl is always outside in stadiums. And but now I've softened that stance a little bit over the last year.
It seems like a lot of stuff done got better over there. I had a chance to run through the building the other day with the recovery room, the new glasses, all of the shit that y'all pull in the back. Mr. Brown putting a lot of money in there.
Yeah, the cryo, the red light therapy, the float tank, all that stuff.
Red light.
All that stuff's getting in place right now. So the guys are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Really?
Spending money.
Hey, let's go. Hey, that's good news.
Float tank.
We love that. I know you love that because your players love that, which makes your life easier so you don't have to deal with people bitching. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody over there. Good luck at practice. Good luck the rest of the way, and we hope to chat with you again soon.
Awesome. Appreciate it, fellas.
All right. Good luck out there. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals with an upgraded facility.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Taylor out of here. He said. That was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, the upgrade. I mean,
red light
indoor facility.
Yeah,
cryo stuff.
Yeah, they got the cryo. They got the
red light therapy.
Red light therapy.
Dana was doing.
It's like 7 different rooms, Mr. Brown.
I think there's some people that would assume that an NFL team would have this stuff in their building.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Naturally, people would think that.
Especially a team who's
already redid the new training room, 4 cold tubs, 3 hot tubs. It's pretty decent.
Float tank. You've done a float tank. I'm
Love a good float tank.
Those work perfectly for Ted Karras and those guys.
Yeah, a little floatarium. You know what I mean?
I know a haircut.
Huh?
Did that shit the first time and just had to get my hair lined up.
Ruined it?
Not ruined it. It was burning.
Because you just got your haircut, yeah.
Oh, a little after.
God.
Yep.
Yeah,
I had to get out.
Yep.
I've never
the
got
line.
in since
That's
then.
right.
Bingo.
Exactly.
You did that on your neck. Yeah. Anyways, you would assume that any NFL team would have all that stuff. It's not the case.
No, it's not.
So to hear that particular family
In Cincy.
is doing it,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Good for the Bengals. Good for Houday.
They're getting softer.
Well, he said he was a big, just like the Bengals fans were saying to us whenever I raised the question of how a team who is in a 4-season climate in the NFL making billions of dollars, how they don't have an option to practice inside if they make it to the Super Bowl and there's a blizzard.
Right.
That happened
Exactly. That happened.
before.
Yeah.
We were saying this before that actually happened. Then all of a sudden, Super Bowl practice happens, and they're waiting for the University of Cincinnati's field hockey team
could only use half the field
to get half of the bubble that they were using from Cincinnati. And that is Joe Burrow stepping over piles of ice and snow to get in there in the University of Cincinnati's facility, and then could only use half the field because the field hockey team had the other half already reserved. They had a big game next day.
They did.
Huge.
They're Super Bowl, I think some would say.
Right.
And Cincinnati's like, this is ours, not yours.
They actually are playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Legitimate Super Bowl.
And all the Cincinnati Bengals fans were telling me that I was soft just because I couldn't get it and understand it. Like, don't try to make their team soft. This is football. Okay, you play outside. You walk across a highway, play underneath another fucking highway. You get to do that too. It's like, I don't know if that's
So,
I'm not against you, the fans. I'm actually saying, like, hey, the ownership of this fucking team needs to maybe appreciate what they have a little bit more. You know, you put an indoor facility, maybe there's extra reps happening.
Yeah, sure.
In the middle of December when it's real cold, guys maybe don't want to go out underneath the highway and run extra reps, you know? But you maybe put a little roof on something, might be out there. That makes the team better.
Not everyone was born and raised in Cincinnati. You know, you have some guys who are from Florida and California who probably don't want to, or Atlanta, who don't want to be outside when it's, you know, -15 with a 30-degree wind chill.
And whenever they cut to a clip from your practices, there shouldn't be fur coats underneath uniforms. That's bad for NFL apparel. That's bad for practice. You think guys are playing good football when they got the look of the guy from A Christmas Story, Ralphie or whatever the fuck his name was, the little kid with his whole thing out there? Not good. Just get a little dome. And guess what? You can make it cold. And they did. Not only did they do that, you're like, you're right. Okay, fuck it. If this team's going to be good, we will invest. Okay, all these other fuckers weren't. If these ones are good, we'll do it. And then now they're upgrading the whole building. Congrats to the Bengals fans.
Look out.
Honestly, that's a big deal.
Huge.
When your owner's invested, that normally means you're going to win. That's just kind of how it goes.
And the way he's doing it, they don't have to leave the stadium for nothing. You know, like, you don't have to go and get a cryo. You don't have to go and get a red light. They have it all at the stadium now.
Yeah, I love the fact Zito just brought up a photo. This is from the Bills practices.
Oh, yeah, that's how it be. And when it get cold?
You have to.
Yeah, the Bills had the option to go inside. They chose to go outside.
That's right.
This guy said, well, I think that's a bad decision, coach. And said he's doing this right here. That was every day in Cincinnati. That's every day in Cincinnati.
They're keeping their new stadium. They're keeping it open. They're not buying into the dome or anything like that.
That's because Bean, did you hear what Bean, he told us, right? Bean said, like, when you think of Buffalo Bills football, you think of snow and elements.
There's some cities that would revolt if they had to put a dome on.
100%.
Pittsburgh's one of them. Green Bay's another one. New England's one of them. Buffalo probably another one of them.
Sure.
But then everybody says you're never getting a Super Bowl then.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, those franchises, though, are just hoping you're going to go play in one anyway. You don't necessarily need it at home.
Yeah, concur. But I'm just saying that's always the
Northeast.
The flip side of it. Yeah,
because New York had a Super Bowl,
they
right?
did, yeah.
Was that Seahawks
I was there,
Broncos?
In the weather.
I didn't go to the game, but I was there for the game. And it ended up being like 45 somehow.
That's like when the Colts or in Indianapolis hosted a Super Bowl. Like, our city should not host a Super Bowl with how cold it is around that time.
It's perfect.
But it has a dome, obviously. It was perfect. It caught
super nice out.
Yeah.
Caught a summer. I forget how they describe those summers. That
the opposite of a flash freeze.
Oh, I remember.
That show up in the
I remember
in the middle of winter.
I don't know how.
I'm not saying it.
What do they say?
I am not saying it.
Come on.
I'm not, especially right now.
Don't do it.
Now is not.
You wanted
the
to say it
time.
yesterday, real bad.
Yeah, now is not
Summer
the time.
and winter.
Yeah, I'm not. We didn't create this.
No,
I did not. I just want to. Anyways, one of those happened.
Yeah.
And Indianapolis was like 65, 7 degrees with no wind for the entire week. This is real. It was 65 degrees for the entire week in the middle of fucking February in Indianapolis. And then the next week, I think we got snow and storm immediately afterwards. It was like football gods came through. And then Indianapolis was like, we need another one. I'm like, oh, buddy. I think we should just kind of skirt out of there with a very good memory in everybody's mind.
Right.
Comfortable.
Because our city is perfect to host a Super Bowl.
It's awesome.
Because everything is connected. So everything's small. So you want to go to this party, then you want to walk over to this event, then you want to walk over to the stadium, then you want to be in a convention center. It's all literally within each other. The only worry is the weather would be ass. And instead, we got perfect weather.
Beautiful.
People are on zip lines from one side of the city to the fucking other in the middle of February in Indianapolis. It was like, how did this work? How did they find out? Football gods, just like up in New York.
Exactly.
But I don't believe there will ever be those in Foxborough.
No,
although Kraft can control the weather.
He does.
Remember? That is what people said was possible.
And he might do that. I don't think he will anymore with the new video board. But, I mean, they did the College Football National Championship 2 years ago in Indy. And it was perfect. It was Georgia-Bama. It wasn't too bad. It was a little chilly.
I don't think that's how all the fans felt. I don't think the fans thought it was perfect here.
Really?
Yeah, because there was really no events outside because of how cold it was. You go to those,
nice inside.
like down in the South, for instance, which both these teams were from.
Yep.
You go to one of these college football games, it's a festival, like outside. It's a whole day.
Tailgate.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
It was
was
so
no
cold.
tailgating.
Yeah, there was no real anything like that.
Might be a college football playoff curse because let's remember it rained inside last year too.
Yeah, LA also, I don't think that was the right setup for a college football.
Because that's way out there.
Way out there.
Yeah, that area of LA. If you're gonna do it out there, it's like
Pasadena, baby.
Yeah, or like the Coliseum, but they wouldn't do that because it's a shithole.
Like SoFi is beautiful.
It is. It's
Gorgeous.
unbelievable.
I mean, it doesn't have a roof.
And it rains sideways sometimes.
And, you have to delay games because Lightning's like 10 miles away from a stadium that has covering. So that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's 2 feet of standing water on the concourse.
Well, that's probably the only game they can get it filled up.
What's that? National championship?
Yeah.
And SoFi in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. If
For
it
a
was
regular season game, ain't nobody going.
anything smaller than that.
Yeah.
Away teams go.
What's that,
The
pal?
away teams fans go.
No, he's talking
just don't be.
college.
I'm saying like it's not sold out there.
Where, SoFi?
Yeah.
I think the Rams. Don't you think the Rams? Do they not?
If the fucking 49ers show up, though, fucking sell that shit.
Hey, I saw the
They
49ers in
sold
Vegas this weekend at that preseason game. There was a lot of red.
They travel.
I mean, Vegas is kind of asking for away teams. They're actually marketing it. Like, hey, come get a suite here. We'll give you this amount of tickets to the game. You'll be able to do this. That's a great setup for the NFL. But I wonder if Raiders players and Raiders coaches are like, we have 0 home games. Because it's at least 50-50 split because people are going to be selling their tickets off. Although Raiders fans are awesome. We're not saying that. But, like, if people want to take a Vegas trip to go see a game, I think they're going to want to do that over, like, going to – Indianapolis, see their team play.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Vegas and do that. That's set up for fucking away games and in there.
But I mean, still though, like that stadium, like with how loud it is, like, do you think they can even discern between like when the home fans are cheering and the away like it's a fucking party. And
Well, they got that Wynn nightclub
exactly
right off the edge there.
Yeah,
what a
too.
setup that is. Charles Woodson was doing a interview from there, sitting down because he did something with his whiskey.
Wow.
And I think with Wynn, I think he was there.
Official partner.
Yeah, with Wynn, there was just a bunch of people boozing heavily.
Yeah.
Right behind him in the shot. Because it's all the local broadcasts.
Yes.
So like there's cameras on, but nobody's telling any of the people in this nightclub behind him.
Right.
Like, hey, you are currently live on there. There's this one lady she took like 5 selfies of herself right in the back, sipping on a drink, and then like you see her look at it.
Yep.
I'm like, is anybody letting her know that she's on camera? And does she care? I don't.
Yeah.
True.
Does
Probably
she
not.
know she's at a football game? I don't think so. It's a good event. It's a good set. SoFi's nice, as is Allegiant Stadium. That Buffalo Stadium, they better have big-ass buffaloes.
Yes.
Right.
Huge.
Because that is what people are most upset about. Let's start diving into some stuff that is happening around the NFL world. Shout out to Zach Taylor. Cool guy.
Yeah. Sweet.
Cool guy. Former Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year whenever he was at Nebraska.
Weapon.
People forget about that. Now he's head coach of the Bengals, which is one of the greatest offenses in the NFL. The only issue is the greatest offense in the NFL is also in the AFC.
That's tough.
And the Kansas City Chiefs. And then if you think about that, what offense has done, like the Philadelphia Eagles also, their offense is very efficient. It's like where they're great, everybody's great. Will they be able to carry that and then the defense do their thing? I hope so. Because a Super Bowl parade in Cincinnati would be reckless.
Yes.
It would be awesome. You see what they do for the Reds' first game?
Oh yeah.
The Reds' first home game in Cincinnati. It is a parade.
Every
it's a
year.
festival. It is huge. Could you imagine the Bengals win a Super Bowl in a parade in Cincinnati? Oh, my.
It is tough to imagine since they never have, but it probably.
Well, that's why
It's
you would have
coming.
to imagine it.
It's coming.
You know what I mean? Why is this guy's deal? What's this guy's deal?
You know it's fucking deal.
That AFC North.
Hot in the kitchen.
All I know is I put on my professional hat and I asked him a real question. You couldn't
did.
do the same for Omar Khan.
Yeah, you chose not to ask a
Well,
question
Omar
to
Khan-
sweaty Omar Khan.
Omar Connor was the asshole that didn't say hey to me, so I gave him what he gave me.
Oh, so you think that was an early shot? Hey, hi, is
What's up,
AJ
boy?
here? Boys here? You think, that's awesome if Omar Khan did that. I didn't even notice that. little shit talking within the AFC North.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit talking, let's talk about the Hard Knocks episode last night. Thought it was a good episode. I think Hard Knocks is doing well this year.
Yes.
Now, obviously, they're focusing on a lot bigger names, and there's a lot bigger names on the Jets as a whole, but they're not doing a lot of the who gives a fuck stories, you know, in our eyes, although some people probably love that. There was an eye-piercing story.
Yeah, Will McDonald. But he was
he's
their first-round pick. It's not like he's a fringe guy who's about to get cut.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah, didn't-
Also,
we don't want to
didn't
see
need
his
to have
eyes
it in
getting
there.
pierced.
Everybody fast-forwarded through that section of the episode because everything else was awesome. No offense to that guy. I think his piercing looks cool.
Does look cool.
I think it
Doesn't
looks.
look cool.
What's that?
It doesn't look cool.
I thought it looked pretty cool.
It didn't.
Yeah,
He's got
but-
a bunch of them though,
He got 3 of them.
and they all look cool.
Boom, boom, boom.
He's
Like,
2 on the nose.
You didn't think it looked cool,
nah.
bro? Super cool.
You don't know.
Back.
You've lost
Bro.
touch, Pac Man.
You do it.
No,
Nah, that's not my style.
it doesn't look cool on us.
Nah, it wouldn't be cool.
It's cool on him.
I know. I still think it'd be cool on you.
I'll think about it. I mean, it probably add to how cool.
To be honest,
I think he'd look pretty cool.
I think you look pretty cool too.
I think you guys would look cool. We
No,
should
I
all
think
just
you would
get
look cool.
piercings.
No, well,
No,
nonetheless,
you
none
would-
of us
you
look
would look
cool as
cool.
that guy.
No.
Which is cool. And they should have maybe done a zoom in on his face and be like, look how cool this guy looks. Didn't need the whole piece, but that piece used to be what the whole show was.
Yes.
On like not only him, but like different people. Now we're getting like real shit. Hey, we're getting real shit out of Hard Knocks. And former players, I think anybody that watched that episode is like, okay, now we're getting into it. There were some moments where Aaron was talking to both the offensive coordinator Hackett and to his offensive line, where it wasn't just like the normal kumbaya motivation shit. It was like real football stuff. Like, hey, gonna have to do this. Like, this is how this actually goes. It's the NFL. This isn't college football. I appreciated that. And then there was a moment where Robert Saleh was talking to the offensive line in the middle and in front of the entire team that I don't think I've seen one of these in a long time published publicly, but I'm happy it was. But this also gives us an indicator of how the Jets feel about their offensive line, just like how the rest of the media is talking about the offensive line. This is Robert Saleh addressing the team after their first joint practice with the Carolina Panthers. So this is the first day that they get to play against somebody that isn't the New York Jets. Remember, the New York Jets defensive line, very fucking good. So Saleh was probably saying to himself, our offensive line doesn't look as great because our defensive line is so good. This comes after practicing against another team's defensive line for the first time on Hard Knocks last night.
So last night, I went back in my office, I turned off my lights, and I would just watch the silent tape. All right, you guys know how important to me the silent tape is, because the silent tape represents who the fuck we are. Defense, our style was all over this bitch yesterday. And it was awesome to see, because that's our standard, that's who we are. All right? Offense. Guys, it was our first fucking opportunity to change the stink that's been in this organization for a very long time on the offensive side of the ball. You can have a Hall of Fame quarterback. You can have two $10 million plus receivers. You can have a reigning offensive rookie of the year. You can have all kinds of skill in the running back room. None of it fucking matters until the big boys up front change who the fuck we are. We as coaches, we as an organization can't want it more than you. And I'm watching that tape all night last night, trying to find something to show that we're fucking changing, and it didn't show, and it was our first op. And I'd love to say we got another practice, but you know what? It's like Sunday. You don't get Monday morning to go redo. It's getting your mind right to represent who the fuck you are every single fucking time you are on the fucking field. We'll fix for footwork. We'll fix all that shit. But you can't fix shit until we know you're giving everything you got. Making it fucking hurt. Straining and fighting for everything you fucking got. Because we will go as you go. We proved last year that we're a 7-10 football team with a really fucking good defense and a mediocre offense. That's about what we proved. Flip that fucking shit. We don't get any more second chances.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I enjoy that it's in front of the entire team. I enjoy that Saleh said the uncomfortable thing. A lot of coaches, not saying a lot in the NFL, but a lot of coaches in general will shy away from that because it's not fun to be the bearer of negative news to anybody, let alone an entire group, and letting them know, hey, you are letting down the rest of us right now. The fact that Saleh has the gumption, the gut sack to do that shows me a lot about him as a coach. I'm assuming everybody else in the room was like, thank you, coach, because players are thinking the same exact thing. The coach delivers the message, and now hopefully the offensive line will hear that message and change. But I like the way Robert Saleh acted in Hard Knocks last night. I'm a big fan of what they got going, and I am a little bit worried about this offensive line, mostly because of how worried they seemingly are about the offensive line pack.
And I don't think we over-exaggerating or going too fast or too quick. If the offensive line don't get fixed, it's going to be a long season. And he said it best. You know, we playing for jobs out here. We done spent a whole bunch of money to get where we need to get. And you big guys up front got to get y'all ass together. And sometimes it take a little time for them to get together. So I'm not in a panic mode. I think with the weapons they have, it may take a little time, but they'll figure out how to get it going.
I hope so too. And obviously, any offensive line has the capability, if they have the size and the ability to be in the NFL, to gel together and become a cohesive unit that is obviously great for your team to succeed. Have to have a good offensive line to have success in the NFL. That is just how it is. Not only in the NFL, but in football. In general. You have to have a good offensive line. Not a sexy job. not one that is desired by me or many people, but have to have it be great for your team to be good. And Woody Johnson was talking to Robert Saleh last night about the contract that he paid Quinnen Williams. He said, exact quote from Woody Johnson to Robert Saleh about Quinnen. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
It's a lot of money we paid that guy.
Yeah, but he
got 10 sacks in one practice in his eyes. Make it 11, Aaron Rodgers says, as he kept track. Love the way Aaron and the team seem to be bonding and coming together in the way they're practicing. But that offensive line thing wasn't just a Saleh thing. Aaron was talking about it a little bit, too, during the entire process.
Yeah, he was pissed. I think he said we're going to block anybody up front today when they were doing the Carolina Panthers, joint practice. And we mentioned it yesterday about how tough some of the D-lines they're going to be playing are, and that is definitely true. But we also talked about, and I'm not sure if it was before or after the show or during the show, like Hackett and Rodgers are going to game it. They're not going to go into every game expecting to have a great pass rush.
Hey, maybe we'll learn.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll learn not to call that play from that formation, Yeah. Maybe. That's what Aaron was saying. Hackett was literally standing right here.
Rodgers will scheme it.
We learned a lot about Hackett, too. Flipped off Quinnen Williams in the middle of practice.
Love that.
Him and Aaron were getting into it a little bit. It's like, I really enjoy what I'm seeing out of this team, but it was a little alarming how they were talking about that offensive line. To go back to your point, they can scheme it, but also D-lines can just wreck games,
especially
no matter what your scheme is.
Especially in the AFC East. I mean, you could argue that the strength of everybody's team in the AFC East is their defensive line,
including the Jets.
Including the Jets, yeah, like they're going to be fantastic. And even in the preseason game, they showed it. The guy that was getting his piercings, the first-round pick, Will McDonald, he's going to be great.
Cool piercings.
Great piercings. Thinking about it myself, you guys should too. Quinnen Williams is going to be all pro, and then Jermaine Johnson's, not too shabby himself. But it does feel like the offensive line is going to be the Achilles heel of the team, and that might kill him in the end.
Not even just the East. Within the first 6 weeks, they also play Dallas, KC, and Philly, who all have fucking incredible defensive lines. So they're going to find out quick within those
What we're going to learn is every team probably has a good D-line.
The good ones. The good ones, yeah.
Bad football teams won't have but good teams going forward are going to have a great defensive line. Why? Because the defensive line can affect who? The quarterback. Which is where all the money is going on everything. You just kind of follow the money. You'll be able to figure out what is important to being successful. And you're talking about offensive lines on the other side protecting them. But, there's a reason why everybody's investing in the defensive line, because it's like scheme, strategy, cool. You get, Quinnen Williams in that shit, and that's just practice. And I get it. It's just training camp.
But shit.
He feels like a guy who got paid a lot of money, and now he wants to prove worth all this money. As opposed to potential defensive linemen or any other position group in the past who's gotten paid and said, okay, I got paid. I'm good to retire now.
Albert Ainsworth.
There's many other situations where this is taking place.
Job, Connor.
But he is seemingly, I don't know what he was like before, a leader on that team, loud on that team, entertaining on that team, and wants to be great. Talking shit in practice, like a lot of shit in practice. That means he's there and he cares. That's a big deal. They got a real squad. Can't let that offensive line fuck it up.
Well, and you assume that's part of the reason why they all are so worried about it is because, it may take a little bit of time for them to gel, but Tone mentioned, they have a murderer's row that first 6 weeks. You can't have your offensive line completely blow up the season if you go 1-5 the first 6 games because you can't protect Rodgers, and then you're just playing catch up the entire in a conference that you can't really afford to play catch up because there are going to be there might be 10 teams that could legitimately be in a position to make the playoffs in the AFC.
The good news is they were a 7-10 team with that horrible offense last year. That's the floor. When you bring Rodgers in there,
you got to realize when you got horrible lines, what do? Run the ball downhill.
And get the ball out.
Run the ball downhill, get the ball out quick because you can the bad play set, bad linemen is because of play set, because they came back and when it's on the pass rush. 90% of these guys can block really good when it comes to pass.
It is interesting how some guys are good pass protection and then not good run, which would make sense because you probably got to dance a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there's some guys who are great at the run game and then going backwards, not that great. It is actual weakness. Now, obviously, everybody's looking for people that can go both ways that weigh 320 pounds. I mean, obviously, that's not easy to find. Jason Kelsey, 260 pounds, best in the game somehow at being so small. But, like, if they didn't run, Jason Kelsey probably wouldn't be as effective as a center in the NFL. But since he has the chance to jump on people and attack people, that helps him whenever they're trying to get 350 pounds on him going this way, because you're just hesitant for a second. Defensive linemen are going to be naturally hesitant if there's a chance you're going to run the ball down their fucking throats. But those teams that just drop back and pass and pass and pass, you're basically letting that D-line, they say pin their ears back, and it's like as soon as that ball moves, I'm trying to get to the quarterback, as opposed to any fear at all of a helmet hitting them in the face, because they know that the offensive line's going back. So there is ways to strategize and help your offensive line, but it's going to show up when it shows up.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? It's going to show up when it shows up. I hope they get it fixed. Don't love that they were as worried as they were about it, because whenever you hear the media talk about it, it's like, well, we're just media. We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate the fact that the Jets let that out.
Yeah.
Like, the Jets have to approve Hard Knocks, I do believe, because remember, Florio's like, well, the Jets are going to approve something, and Aaron's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a fight. Florio was like,
might quit.
Set your calendar. Wednesday, August 16th.
Yeah.
Second episode. Jets going to prove something. Aaron's not going to like it. Aaron's going to hate the Jets. He's going to, like, that's what Florio was, like, hypothesizing could potentially happen. The Jets let all that out. I appreciate the Jets doing that.
Yeah.
Like, legit.
Sweet.
I very much appreciate them letting, because last night was like the rawest episode, I think, that we've seen of Hard Knocks in a long time. And that's the shit we need. Speaking of need, I need to go to the bathroom, and AJ Hawk will be on the other side. There's another clip coming out of Hard Knocks. Obviously, the Mentalist is incredible.
Yeah.
Crushed.
This dude's fucking remarkable. I've seen him numerous times on the internet now. Every single time he does a new trick with the same method, and it gets me every single time excited about his brain.
Yeah.
What he did last night in the Jets team meeting room, his first trick with the running back,
Michael Carter.
his second trick with McCole Hardman,
Yep.
and then his last trick with Aaron Rodgers, and
I think the D-backs coach.
all of them.
Yeah.
Hit.
Talent.
He had to walk out of that meeting saying, I'm a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Not an easy room. Not an easy room.
Not at all.
Turn him quickly. That was a good part.
Down.
But there's a little conversation happening about people in football about fighting. And some conversations that normally happen from people that aren't in football about football fighting that are a little bit different, I think.
Yeah.
People are getting a lot louder about football and practicing and saying, yeah, has to happen, as opposed to we're trying to ban it. Now, Zach Taylor said, boys, we can't do it. D'Amico said, boys, we can't do it. But Hard Knocks and the behind the scenes of Colorado are showcasing something that I think is a little bit different in 2023 than it was in 2022, 21, 20, 19, 18. It's good. I love it. A little bit. Seems like football's getting a little tougher.
Yeah.
Like it.
You know what it feels like? Like, hey, yeah, we're going to own what we are. We're a physical sport that's played by tough fucking guys.
Damn right.
That's what football is. Sue us. Don't actually.
Right.
Please.
Shout out Brett Favre. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
Bye.
Tonight is a night where everything's going to be remembered. Every play, every sweat, every fight.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon. Know as a child back in the womb.
Let's have a national championship Monday, huh?
My name's Pat McAfee. I've started this show 2 different occasions already. This will be the 3rd. Wow. It's 2023. We eat adversity for lunch. There's just so many different forms of gummies coming in my mouth.
Boss man, can you do a kickflip? 100 for it? 100 for it? Oh! Come on, bro. That was awesome.
Hey, this little teddy bear is cool. This little round thing is sweet. All right, I feel pretty good for this ESPN party. Let's go have a blast in there. Boom. Need you to do a red carpet. I've never done a red carpet before.
I got to poop, sorry.
I don't know if now's the time.
We're invited to the ESPN party, and now we are all sitting on a red carpet. We had no idea this was coming, obviously. We thought we were just getting some free drinks.
A lot of people on the internet say I looked high. What's that all about? I'm a massive fan of Posner. He was getting motivational speeches in between songs. He was playing other people's songs. He was telling people to stay Dahn. We're going to make a moment. Only on the count of 3, we're going to go crazy. Oh!
sad song. Sad song.
Oh, oh yeah.
A couple of these. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Who's up? What do you want?
What'd you do? What?
Gotta make it a practice game, baby. Gotta last until 9 o'clock.
Happy birthday, sack of shit.
I'm so fired up to be here.
Yeah.
I got a necktie and everything.
Holy shit. Tim Tebow's here. Oh my God.
Look at that cut.
The most handsome shot in our show's history. Nick Saban has been spotted at SoFi. Great work in the back box. These boys crushed it. Now we got game day, then the MegaCast. Let's go. Hey, let's have a night. We're back.
Obviously, the enemy of great is good. The enemy of a dynasty is winning one championship and letting it go. Fran, you're obviously going to Colorado, a place that's been looking for some sort of championship for 20 years. You're also one of the greatest speakers I've ever heard. What are you saying to your team?
You can't get here and all of a sudden change.
Yeah.
You don't want to see a different mannerism of somebody, and especially the coaches. See, everybody's talking about the players.
Yeah.
But you got to coach the coaches, too.
Did you smile there, too?
I saw
Were you smiling?
I
saw a smile.
I do that every now and then.
The rat poison, smiling. That's embedded fourth quarter perfection. Matthew Stafford, fourth quarter perfection. Big moments, Tebow perfection. We got some real magic here tonight, don't we? And I love that toad that takes those mushrooms. With that being said, Stetson Bennett's 25 years old. He's so damn comfortable. Darnell Washington's the backup tight end. He's 6'7", 270. Brock Bowers, best player on the field. The defense full of dogs. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs go back-to-back. First time since this man and his Alabama squad. I love the Bulldogs tonight, barking all over the place, Coach.
All right, here we go, huh? A little bit of rush from old game day down the field. We went all the way to the roots to come back. We are so sorry. All right, let's roll. I gotta get to the sleep, and then I'm gonna hop over the sleep thing. Good, Brad. You are looking at SoFi Stadium, where we'll be crowning a national champion for our college football season tonight. And the Dogs are on the board early. Wide open.
That's the shot that they wanted, baby.
Oh, that's embedded with his second touchdown in the first half. Pick.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Georgia's first down. One-handed touchdown. Brock Bowers, touchdown. It is currently 45-7. It is 52-7. Touchdown.
This is just a good old back home ass whooping.
It's a blowout, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey-o. That son of a bitch, Uga, is having the night of his life.
Wow.
It's raining indoors in Los Angeles. This is God taking a tinkle on something magical, isn't it? Let's get that.
Get him on camera.
That mustache.
Holy smoke.
Holy smokes.
Are you a firefighter?
Good for you, bro. Thanks for your service. First down, Horned Frogs on a 2nd and 3. Why don't we call a game? Holy hell, Tim Tebow is
coming.
Tebow, we're live.
We're on.
We're live right now. Welcome back to SoFi Stadium. Right before the break, an extra point almost killed Tim Tebow. Natural instincts had to take in place. I could not lose the greatest human on earth, and I'm happy they gave you that ball, Tim. Tone, act like you're Sonny Dykes, please.
All right, boss. First half didn't go our way. We're doing this for the great state of Texas. You know who else was down 31 points?
Who's that?
The Italians.
All right, let's take the tractor another round. What are you watching out there, Coach?
Honestly, you know, they're better off grabbing Luka Doncic out of the crowd and maybe lining him up next to Quentin Johnson at receiver. Because they can't do a damn thing.
We decided Tebow here, formerly known as praying for this TCU team to do something. So you put your hands up, play that song, butterflies fly away. Thank you for your service, sir. You're a badass, man.
Those other Americans, I wouldn't be here.
What a run, huh? The boys crushed it.
TCU sucks.
Gonna be so mean all the time.
What?
That's all she wrote for college football season. What are your, let's
fucking get home.
Hey,
Why?
let's go! This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. Hour 2 of this program starts right now. Football is happening. Obviously, there's stories all over the place, and we'll be chit-chatting about a lot of them here this hour. We'll also be joined by Artie Smith with the mustache, head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Last hour, Zach Taylor, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Not a bad day. Way to go there, Zito.
Go, Zito.
The Talks table is here at Boston Connor with his mullet at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys. Tony Diggs rocking a sweet 3/4 zip hoodie with 2 sets of pockets. We got 2 pockets in here. You just want to keep your hands warm quick? Right here.
Yep.
You want to store keys or a phone or something? Can't do the front of a hoodie pack.
Exactly.
Have to do actual pockets. They said, we got you there. Cargo shorts hoodie you got on right now.
Exactly.
You look awesome.
Thank you.
Smell me?
Where'd you find it? You got it influenced?
No, this is from Golf Galaxy, I believe, actually.
Oh, wow.
Okay. These golfers got it all figured out.
Dude's got a good golf line.
14-year NFL vet Pac-Man Jones is here. Good to see you, Pac-Man. And joining us live from an attic in Ohio is a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, COVID survivor, and the current president of Ohio, father of 10, AJ Hawk. AJ, how you doing, pal?
Oh, doing great. How you guys doing?
Hey, great, fantastic. It's a beautiful Wednesday. We are just
22 days
away from actual NFL football. That is right there. That is right fucking there.
Very close.
Isn't it, AJ?
Yeah, you can reach out and touch it, can't you? Almost.
Kinda.
Reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet NFL. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, I do feel like I can reach out and touch it.
Hell yeah.
It feels good. You know what else is helping? Hard Knocks. Another great episode last night. We watched it this morning. I still believe they need to move that up like fucking 6 hours.
That'd be cool.
Just put it out there, move it up 6 hours at 10 o'clock at night. I know I sound like an old, but also I'm not the only one that is living life this way since COVID has changed the way people do stuff. There's a lot more stay-at-homes. I heard on the national news last night that a lot of these offices that are empty in cities, like I think San Francisco has like a 32% empty office rate. I think Denver has like a 20-some%. New York has a high one as well.
Damn.
They're flipping them all into like apartments.
Oh, I like that.
Smart.
And they're setting them up for like work from home type apartments. You know, like kind of open at different areas to be able to do your stuff. I'm happy that we're starting to adapt to what the world is as opposed to get pissed off about what the world is. Also, people going out earlier.
Yep.
Going home earlier.
That's right.
I think bedtimes have moved up a bit.
I think so.
Than what it used to be. Honestly.
You think COVID affected that, you think?
Yeah, I do. I think that is going to be
People are sleepier.
a lingering. No, I think they just schedule.
Nothing to do. Might as well go to sleep.
I think there's like a schedule. Now, when football comes around, it's going to be a little bit different, but Hard Knocks not enough in the middle of the summer. Okay? You know what I mean? We need to move that thing up. But we watched it this morning. Great episode. Only one little feature thing that I guess is cute, and I appreciate that they did it, where in years past they did like 100 of these things. Aaron, being as open as he has been in this Hard Knocks, being interviewed in this Hard Knocks, he goes up to former coach
James Campen.
And he goes, you fat piece of shit. What are we? And he's mic'd up through this whole thing, and they put it out. I'm like thankful they did.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a real training camp last night, Hard Knocks. Did you watch? And what are your thoughts on it all and how Aaron is handling it?
Yeah, I watched it this morning, which I've done for the first 2 episodes now. I watched the following morning. Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts, watching him sneak up on Campy. If you knew, like, James Campen in Green Bay with those whole, like, multiple generations of offensive players and linemen, just the whole team, like, he's one of those dudes. Like, he is absolutely infamous. So this was a very, very tame conversation they were having here. They caught on camera.
I love
very tame.
And they ended with hard. I love you, man.
Yeah.
All right, I love you too.
No, Campy, I thought Campy was going to start crying. Like, he's one, like, that's why I love this dude. I listened to him. We were riding back from the Kentucky Derby, and I was in the car with a bunch of offensive linemen, and they called Campy. They didn't play for Campy anymore. I believe he was coaching in Cleveland at this time. And there's 3 or 4 of us in there with him. I was one guy, 3 or 4 linemen, and Campy started crying, telling him how, hey, thanks so much for calling me, guys. I appreciate it. It was unbelievable to see the connection these guys have.
Well, I enjoy the fact that Aaron goes up to him, you fat piece of shit.
Yeah.
What was I told you I was going to kick you in the nuts if you're above 269 pounds. You remember that? He goes, I'm 5 over right now. He goes, what's wrong? Are you guys watching this guy?
Yeah.
So I guess what I would assume happens here, because I've been on the receiving end of this a couple times in a couple different conversations. Campy battles weight, I assume, and Campy understands he needs to lose weight to maybe be a healthier human, and that's where he and Aaron talk shit to each other at this stage of life?
Yeah, a little bit. Campy had some health scares, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago over time. So he had lost some weight. I think maybe Aaron wants him to keep it off. That's the plan.
I didn't know about the health scares, though. But that would make sense that Aaron's like, hey, pal.
I don't know how serious. I'm just saying, I think for anybody, especially Campy played in the league 8, 9, 10 years as an O-lineman too. So his body got beat up.
Okay, well, I want to let everybody know that I'm appreciative that Hard Knocks let that out. I'm appreciative that the Jets let that out. And I'm appreciative that
authentic.
It's raw. It feels like it's the rawest season
Yes.
that we've seen yet.
Sure.
It feels like it's just a much.
Yeah, their coaches feel like they're not really performing. They're being themselves too, it feels.
Yeah.
Okay, so to that point, there was a fight in one of the practices. And now, this was Jets versus Jets practice. And before the practice starts, Saleh actually says, I just want to see the guys compete, want it. And it kind of goes to what he said to the offensive lineman, where it was watching a film, it doesn't feel like you guys really are straining, is pretty much how he described it. So before the practice, he was like, I want to see these guys get after it. I want to see these guys compete. A fight happens, and then this quote happens immediately afterwards with his assistant, Paisano.
Was it
Scarnecchia?
Scarnecchia.
Scarnecchia is his assistant or whatever. Listen to the quote that happens afterwards. Listen to what Robert Saleh says. It's quick, but it's important to what we're talking about right now. Run the clip.
We don't have to clear the benches every time. You know what I'm saying? There you do.
You do, actually. Yeah. You don't have to clear the benches every time. No.
You do.
You do, actually. And then you follow that up with this clip that just was released on...
Today? It was Colorado's?
This morning on Twitter, I think.
On Colorado's Twitter about Coach Prime, who obviously NFL Hall of Famer, so good at football in the NFL, is actually saying, we need a different wing for motherfuckers to play like me in the NFL. That's how good of a football player he is. He has given back to the football culture his entire adulthood, whether it's through players, individual players, or coaching. Loves football. Listen to what he says, following up with what Robert Saleh just said to his team about a fight that happened inter-squad here at training camp. We good. Little Rockstar 5 there.
Yep.
Coming up here.
Hey! That shit touchdown, hey!
Keep going up, man.
That's right, Hank. Here it is.
He just fought. I seen 2 of y'all walking off over there, and you got a key teammate fighting. What they do that at?
Nowhere.
What they do that at?
Not here.
In one fight, we all fight. You understand that?
No, sir.
I don't want to see y'all walking off when somebody's fighting.
Yes, sir.
Never again.
Walk off.
All right, come on.
I was in that bitch.
So I appreciate the fact that old Cuz was like, I don't know who he was talking to in here. Was not me. But you hear Saleh talk about it. You hear Coach Prime talk about it, obviously. I've heard every human that's ever played in competitive football talk about it. I appreciate the fact that it feels like, AJ, that football is recognizing that, it's a hard sport that involves some combat, and you got to be fucking tough. and you can't be soft, and you can't be the guy who runs away from a fight that's happening. You have to be the guy that runs into a fight, even though seemingly a lot of members of society out there are like, we should never do that type of things, and this type of stuff is a waste of energy. It's like, that is a team builder, and I appreciate the fact that we're back at the point of recognizing that, if that makes sense, AJ.
I mean, it makes complete sense. You don't have to be that guy. You don't have to be the guy that goes in there and helps out your teammates and helps people out and gets into fights, but you also can't really play football then on a team. They're not going to be accepted if you don't support your teammates. I'm not saying you got to cheap shot people or fight people. You don't have to do any of that, but you do have to be there if one of your guys, someone on your team, is in a melee or anything's happening. Like, you don't have to go cheap shot and jack people and do stupid stuff, but you got to go make sure your teammate is okay and get him out of there.
It's a real thing. Even like Justin Tucker.
It's not even football. That's life. It's almost like, hey, this is like your family. This is my family. We protect our family.
Yeah, but there's some people that don't believe that anymore, like should never do anything physical. And it's like football is finally, it feels like, getting to a point again where it's like, no, we're fighting. Yeah, we got to fight. That's how it goes. You watch that Ravens fight yesterday, the first one with wide receivers. Justin Tucker, greatest kicker of all time, going to go down, putting his helmet on from the side. Well, fuck. Here we go. Like, have to do it. It's like, you're looking for that stuff. The guy that Prime was talking to in that huddle, that motherfucker's not playing for Colorado. That dude is. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who we apologize for just wasting a minute and a half of his life. I do believe he was sitting there listening to that entire thing. Would love to hear his take on it, especially now that he has that glorious mustache on his upper lip. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who could be having his feet up on an office desk in a FedEx building somewhere, not grinding his life away to win football games. Head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Artie Smith. Artie, how you doing,
you
pal?
have me on.
Hey, hell yeah. Listen, we are thankful that you joined us. We are massive fans of yours, and obviously we haven't got a chance to chat with you since that mustache has become a thing. Hey, how has that not been your look forever? It looks right at home there. You look good.
I know. I mean, it's a missed opportunity, but I'm trying to make up for it now.
Okay, so is that real? Have you ever had a mustache before? Is this the first time you've done it?
I rocked one in college a few times, I think, and didn't keep it, though.
I'm happy it's back. Do you feel like a better coach with that mustache or anything changed?
I feel like, better at everything. I mean, it just when you walk in places, I mean, it's just like the doors get open for you. You get, they're going to come right to you at the bar. You get the first table. I mean, it's something about it. I don't know. People view you different when you walk in there when you're rocking a stash.
You a little bit worried it's going to make you soft? You a little bit worried about that?
No. If anything, I think it gets your T levels up.
I think my T levels are going up just looking at it. So I couldn't even imagine it being.
I mean, I'm sitting here. I'm mad because they wouldn't let me go with my cutoff. I forgot you're still rocking the tank.
Yeah, had to do it, dude. I just, why not, first of all? And then second of all, like, such a suity profession. Like, to do it all in a tank top is hilarious. Don't you? I mean, isn't that kind of a fucking hilarious thing?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, you talk about the stash. I mean, I think that's kind of a way of life, too.
It is. Mm-hmm. Some people really hate mine, though. I don't know if anybody hates what you got going on. I don't know how you could. You heard us talk about that fighting thing there earlier. And I don't want to necessarily put you in a compromising position of saying anything out of sorts, but it does feel as if you are one of these guys. You have beers with the boys in the locker room afterwards. We just had Prime, a video of Coach Prime out there in Colorado, basically telling one position group, like, hey, if one of y'all, what are we doing out there? Feels like that's the culture you're trying to build. If your team was to not show fight or get into one of those, would you be worried? And do you think this is just how football is forever?
I mean, it depends on context. I mean, I agree. I did, hear you guys talking about it, and you've got to defend yourself. I mean, it's that part. It's the whole part about if you're going out there in a practice. I mean, you can't start a melee in a game. So it's a fine line as a coach, with the bad habits. But I also understand if there's a fight happening and you got a couple guys that's looking at it and three people are attacking one of your teammates, that's a bad look as well.
Also, Coach, can't you, I guess, take it one step further? If your team does get in a fight and stay with another team, line them back up and see who wins the next 3 reps and keep those same guys in. That's a very tough situation. You waste a lot of energy getting in a fight. Let's see how you guys respond and who wins now.
Yeah, it depends on what the context of it. I mean, if you got a guy out there, first play, cheap shots another player in the back and then throws a punch, we're going to take him out of practice. I mean, that's that's not what you want. But you want to see the guys if there is something going back and forth, who is going to bite back. But there's a fine line. I take it case by case. I mean, we've been in those joint practices. We're not going to be the ones. We don't teach cheap shots and whatever. We try to be really physical. We try to do it the right way. But we've had situations where somebody's done it to us, and you want that mentality that you're going to protect your teammate.
I love that you're saying, like, yeah, don't want the situations to happen, okay? But if they do happen, hard not to coach up and evaluate, because it is happening right in front of our eyes. Don't want it, but it's here. We might as well use it. This past weekend, I watched a clip of McDaniel over there in Miami at the end of the game. I don't know if you called a timeout or what was going on. I don't know if you've seen this clip, but he's literally pacing the sideline. His team only scored 3 points. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation coming out of there, so he's got a million things going on. And he's trying to look across the field, I think, to get your attention, to be like, hey, can you just let us out of this field, like off this thing? Did you see that clip? And what are your thoughts on this preseason as a whole? What are you trying to get out of it? How do you view it for playing guys? Like, what is your views on preseason football for your team, I guess, with a ton to prove still across the board?
Well, you got to get your team ready to go. There's 3 preseason games, and I think it's hard to go from 0 to 100. We did it one way in 21. I didn't think it really helped us for different reasons, but I think guys need to play. Now, how much is, again, case by case, but there's nothing that replicates. I mean, if you don't play at all, and then you get into week 1, and then all of a sudden you're planning to play 65 snaps, that's hard. It's hard to do. So we've got 3 games, and there's a lot of things going on. There's certain guys we're trying to give the opportunity to make a roster decision. There's other guys that we need to ramp up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how'd you feel, Pat? I mean, if you didn't kick until week 1, but you're a kind of outlier, but
yeah. So like AJ's probably a good person to ask in Pac-Man, but like for me, I needed the kick. I needed it. I like in practice too. I didn't have enough confidence that I could like take a day off, and then on Sunday I would be confident, if that makes sense. I needed to work all the time, but I'm not running my head into anything or anything like that. I'm getting flipped because the guy that's right wing for me has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and he's going to be selling insurance in like a week. But I at least need to see a ball turnover in a game. AJ, did you like it? I assume you're Ohio fuck. You didn't mind it?
Yeah, I think you need it. There's like a progression. I think your body goes, the body and brain, of like you kind of get calloused, you get hardened up after 6 or 7 days, and you're back into pads and feels good.
How about you, Coach? Off season to season, how do you handle it? You seem to be, and we know you have a Marine dad. Hell yeah! Shout out to him. Shout out to you too, but shout out to him, for serving the country and doing what he did with FedEx.
Amen.
Hey, thanks for that, dude. Yeah.
Way to go, Mr. Smith.
I really appreciate him. You know what I mean? And then the Vegas thing. Didn't he go? Is that real, right? That's real? He went to Vegas?
Real.
What happened?
Yeah, real.
What happened? Just quickly.
They didn't think they were going to be able to, make the payment. And so he went out there and I think he played blackjack for 18 straight hours. Won over $30,000.
And then
his whole thing was like, hey, look, if we didn't, nothing to lose, really. That was kind of the mentality. That's the way he told it to me. True story, though.
And then saves FedEx.
Yep.
And then obviously now.
Worked out.
Just
FedEx is FedEx.
a Goliath.
Yeah.
What a fucking dog, dude. What a dog. I mean, it runs in.
You need to get him on the show. You need to get him on the show. I think at this point, he's just turned 79. He's probably willing to do it.
Okay. Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
We would enjoy that. But
I'll
also
put him on the spot. I kind of put you on the spot there too, but gotta get him on there.
No, yeah, definitely. We're expecting your dad on the show now. So, hey, we got the guy that founded FedEx coming on the show. Thanks for booking for our show, dude. This is awesome.
No problem. He went from CNBC and now he comes on the Pat McAfee Show. Same demographic.
He'll do great. He'll do great. I can't wait. And I do love the fact that now, I mean, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, obviously. Marine, founded FedEx. Yeah. But like publicly now, people are like, oh, this guy's going on. He's going on. Aren't you going on the? This is awesome. Thank you for that, Coach.
Huge.
Really, thank you for that.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell, drive the stock price down a little bit. Probably what happened. It might happen.
He comes on the show. Yeah, he'll handle himself. 79 still got the fastball.
Yeah.
We know that. He went to Vegas, bet for 18 hours, saved the company.
What?
Guy's a fucking dog.
How about?
Anyways, and also didn't let his kid just be basically just sit around and take his money. Needs you to go do an excruciatingly tough job. What is your season like though? Now that you're the head coach, I assume that you are not taking a lot of time away from football, and then you get into training camp, it's just like, thank God we're at training camp? Or like, how did you handle this as the head coach going into this season? New quarterback, obviously, new things, same expectations. How was your offseason to training camp? And then how does your life change from now till February when the Super Bowl happens?
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is, Pat, AJ. You got that. There's that off time in the NFL from the end of minicamp to when the season starts. And I've got 3 young kids, and you try to be present. You get away a little bit to recharge for the season, but it's hard to turn off. So you just try to divvy up your day and chip away. But you need to be there for your kids and certainly your wife too. So, but it's hard as it gets closer to it. There's just so many things going on in your mind, but. I'm very fortunate, that I've got a great wife to do that, because now it's like you go into I think I read one time, it's like going into a submarine for 6 months. Like you may be out of it some days, but your mind, I mean, there's constantly stuff going on. I mean, we're all kind of, I think anybody that plays or coaches this game is a little not very well adjusted.
Yeah, I'd say. Tom Moore is still coaching.
Mm-hmm. I love Tom Moore. I spent 5 weeks with Tom Moore in 2012.
How'd that go? I assume
it's the best. We play the Bucks. I can't wait. I mean, I go out there early just to see Tom. But Tom hasn't aged in like 20 years.
He's been 74 years old for the last 20 years.
It really has been, and he's hilarious. He's funny as hell, and every time I see him, he does. He's giving me a lot of really good advice about playing the long game and how to handle it. But I promise you, I don't think he's aged in 20 years. He looks just like he did when he was calling plays with Peyton with his glasses down on his nose. I swear, if you pull a clip from 2003, I bet it looks really similar to what he looks like right now.
You popped yourself there with the play in the long game. That was I enjoyed that. That was good. Hey, shout out to all the coaches committing their entire fucking lives so that we can get good football on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, in America, Mexico, Canada, England, Germany. I think that's it. How do you feel about all of this? Like, honestly, and I guess this is away from Atlanta Falcons base, but you will have to handle it all at some point. The NFL is going to have games every night of the fucking week, I think. At some point, there's going to be an 18-game season around the corner. What are your thoughts on the state of football? Because it's the best show in town, in every town, the NFL, Coach.
It's really the best thing anybody wants to watch live now. So, I mean, look, if you don't want to do that, then don't sign the contract. The money, where the money's going in the game, it's growing. I'm not one that when things change, you may give your opinion, but once the rules are made and that's what it is, if you don't like it, then don't do it. I just think you waste your time. Like, we're going over to London again this year. We did it 2 years ago. It was awesome. I'm just trying to figure out, I'm still wondering what your record has to be to get knighted. That's what, if you play in London, I think the winning coach should be knighted, So I've got that. Yeah, so I'm going to ask the British press. It didn't go over well last time we were there. Kind of looked at me. That joke fell real flat over in 2021. I'll bring it up again, though.
Hey, the second time around.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
I'll try. It didn't land well.
Arthur is a knight's name, too.
Yeah. Oh, King Arthur.
You have to call me sir.
Sir Arthur. Sorry, not.
It's so obnoxious. You'd have to, it's like,
sir.
Like somebody puts you at a dinner, it has to say sir in front of it. Like Sir Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
No, obnoxious.
Yes, but I'm not going to win a game over there. You might be Sir Coach Arthur Smith.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That might be your name soon.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try. I don't know. I don't know if how serious he'll take me when I ask it again.
That mustache will be a different, you know what I mean? If you had I think the mustache will kind of put you over, especially new king.
Yeah.
He's got these huge fingers.
Yeah,
sausages.
You should compliment how big his fingers are when you're giving the ask with that mustache. It might expedite the whole thing, honestly.
I'll have my ascot on and everything.
Yeah.
Connor has a question for you about football as we get back here.
Yeah, Coach, once again, fantastic mustache. But looking around the league, especially the way yours is kind of formed, you obviously have, Cordero Patterson, who's a stud, Algier, who's a stud. You got Bijan, also going to be a stud. There aren't that many teams left who are like true ground and pound teams that can win games on the ground with their offensive line. And you guys extended Chris Lindstrom. That was awesome. But how do you feel being one of those last few teams that really do just physically beat the other opponent into a pulp and just kind of really take advantage in those third and fourth quarters after you've already worn down the team?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of different offensive weapons. The mentality, really, the entire team. I mean, Tyler and Bijan and CP, those guys are great players, and all three of them have their own running styles. But Bijan and CP they're great all around football players, and we've got a lot of, especially a lot of young skill guys with unique skill sets with Kyle and Drake and Jonnu, Matt Collins. I mean, we've got a diverse group of offensive weapons, and so we can attack in a lot of different ways. It's not just traditional rushing attack. I mean, Dez is another guy that can extend plays with his legs. I think when you watch us, we've got a lot of guys that are going to be fun to watch, and the way we'll deploy them is going to be unique compared to everybody else. And I never wanted to be boring. I mean, that's the thing. We need to win games, but we've also got a lot of fun guys to watch play. And the offensive line as well. Those guys play with a certain mentality.
Yeah, but you have good schemes on your run games. And the only reason why we know that, not because of how good I kicked a ball, I know that. AQ Shipley, who does In the Trenches for us, he breaks down run plays from across the NFL every single week. You guys were on there like the first 4 weeks because the way you were setting up leverage with guys that were moving in fakes. Like it was, what AQ said is this is a brilliant concept and design. So I appreciate you talking about, all the weapons you have. Pretty big fucking brain behind that mustache too, pal. Yeah. Pretty big brain behind that mustache.
We got great players. We got good staff.
All right, fuck off. All right, AJ has a question for you. Yeah, AJ has a question for you.
Coach, I know you guys are playing the Bengals here in the preseason, and I read something where you and Zach Thomas seem to kind of be on the same page. Zach Taylor, the head coach. Sorry, Zach Thomas is in the Hall of Fame. Congrats again.
Congrats to Zach Thomas. Hey, way to go, 5-4.
Go, ZT.
Love that guy. Amazing. But you guys said you're not out to go. I read something where you don't want to just go have some trick plays to feed your highlight film or something. You want to execute and improve. What does that mean exactly?
Well, I mean, again, everybody's got to make the best decisions for themselves. But when I watch the preseason games sometimes, and I look at like a double reverse pass or, the tight end fall down. I mean, they've called it a million different names, and he leaks out the back, and everybody's like, "Wow, look at that pass for a touchdown." It's like, we're going to execute our offense. We got to get our team ready to play. So I'm not sitting there I'm not going to be real satisfied with myself. It's like, oh, cool, we threw a double reverse screen and it went for 75. Like, we're awesome. Like, we got to see if we can block and execute and it's just a buildup, we'll get into the schemes and designer stuff week 1, but that doesn't impress me. Like the double reverse in the preseason, and it's each their own. Nobody throwing a flea flicker just to say, hey, wow, look at that stat line. That does nothing for me in the preseason.
I love the fact that you're like, okay, we don't even know if we'll ever use this play, but also the defense is just trying to get 11 guys on the field right now. Okay, so you got a tight end rolling around. Who'd you beat? You beat nobody really with this entire thing. I love that that's your mindset. Feels like you're out of the
30s?
40s,
70s,
80s.
70s?
Okay.
Is that the
80s? It's kind of that era. That's where I feel like I fit.
What type of music?
It just depends. I mean, you're in the late 70s, or you're kind of going with the into that era of the Guns N' Roses phase. I mean, that's a wild time if you really look at the late 70s and the 80s and some of the bands and the movies that were made then.
Is that what created you?
Probably. I'm around that era. I don't know what. That's a good question. You can ask my old man.
Yeah. Pac-Man has a question for you, Coach.
Hey, Coach. The DC, Coach Ron, have been doing a good job. I watched y'all and broke y'all down this week. Can you tell us about the younger guys and how good of addition have Jesse Bates been to you guys?
Yeah, Jesse's been a great addition back there. I mean, I know you're down in Atlanta. I mean, wish I had crossed paths. You would fit this defensive scheme pretty well.
Hey, he still got it. He ran a 4-5-1.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness, I mean, we like guys that they play aggressive. That guys want to attack. Like, we don't want to be passive.
Safety.
But Jesse's been a lot. That's been a big addition back there. I think it's helped with Richie. You know how that chemistry is in the DB room. It's like any position group. I mean, you got to have the right guys, and it's got to fit. And we feel good about where the scheme's at and about who's back there as well.
You gonna go play safety?
No.
Hey, Coach.
Y'all look good, Coach. No deep balls. I love it. No deep balls. And with Jesse back there, you got the right guy back there.
Hey, Pac-Man only played 14 years in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Only at corner. Would refuse to go to safety? You know, like, hey, you just want to move in here maybe just a little bit, add another 5 years potentially to your career? Absolutely.
Another punt return?
Oh.
What about another punt return? That's also those punt returns.
I know mentally I'm out of it.
No.
Come on, you can get it back.
You're soft?
Nah, I'm soft.
Yeah, I understand. Me too, bro. This guy never getting soft. Do you think about that, like, when you're in the middle of it? Because we're all retired now, and we love our lives. Like, the whole thought of, like, not going to training camp every year gets better. You know what I mean? Like, we were at Tahoe out at that golf tournament. Aaron was 4 days away from going to training camp. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey, I think, were like 3 days away. And we're talking to these dudes, and it's like, oh, I completely forgot about the potential feelings just like 2 days before you're going to a dorm room somewhere. Or you just fucking love football. Huh? That always have been this way? Like, we joke about you not choosing to just take your dad's success and just weaponize it for yourself to be a lazy fuck, which a lot of people do. You just addicted to football, love football. Why do you think football has become this for you full time?
I mean, it's, you try to play as long as you can, but I mean, it's such a great game. I mean, it's so much different. I'm sure you guys don't miss that anxiousness or whatever those feelings were. Like, damn, I'm getting ready to go away for a while, and the camp feeling. It's obviously different in a coaching role, but the actual game. I mean, there's very few professions where you get the highs and the lows that you do in coaching, and it kind of helps you stay young too. Like, every generation. I mean, you meet so many people. But there's just no other job like it. Like that feeling, that competition on Sunday when the players are out there and trying to build a good plan to help them, and that competitiveness, there's nothing like it. You got to prove yourself. They keep a score. So that part, I don't know many other jobs that would be the same.
Chuck Pagano said that those 5 minutes after the win in the locker room before the media comes in, it's like those moments are impossible to attain anywhere else on earth, pretty much. I don't know what it is for a coach, but obviously players who
at the tunnel
invest everything, like running out of the tunnel. I couldn't even fathom, trying to. I guess wrestling kind of does that for some guys whenever they get into it. And DJ Diesel Shaq said he does those music fests because of it's a Game 7 feeling that he gets in front of all those people. People are chasing that type of dragon. Those 5 minutes after, when did you decide? We're boozing. You know what I mean? We're gonna. I'll have some drinks with the boys. Right. Like, has that been the way you've always been? Like when you were at Tennessee as an assistant, did the boys say, "Hey, coach, down a couple of brews, we win a game"? How's that come together?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on the record about anything like that. I feel like this is gonna trap me, and somehow I'm gonna get one of those league fines. So I gotta be careful how I answer this question. That would happen last year. That was actually organic. The O-line, they said if we win and we rush for over 100, can we go? All these new stadiums now, they have all these field suites, and you look over there. I mean, it's like if you're winning, it looks like a party over there. So they asked one of the bars, they had all those taps right there. Said, if we win and rush for over 100, can we go over there? I said, sure, I'll find out. What am I gonna do? Tell me no? Like, just say, I'll ask them. They say yes or no. And they said we could do it. So I told McGarry and Lindstrom, I said, yeah. They said, we win and rush for over 100, that we can go back there. And I think it was the Browns game. And then, they told us that they ran for over 100, and they just went straight back there. We were not in the locker room because you cannot have beers in the locker room, Pat.
Of course,
right? We were out of work, and we were outside the locker room. Over 21.
You're right. Everybody was out over at 21. You're right.
We were not in an NFL locker room, so
we good.
Got our bases covered.
Genius.
That email that was read the day after, that looks cute. Looked like a fun bonding experience. Might I remind you? Boom. This is how this is going. I appreciate it. How's Desmond Ridder doing? How we doing? We feel good?
He's good. Des is made of the right stuff. I mean, he's a guy that I would think that the three of you guys would like to be a teammate with. He does a good job. I mean, the guy won a lot of games in Cincinnati. He's wired the right way. And so we're excited.
All right. Well, have a great day. Have a great training camp. Are you guys doing any joint practices?
Bengals.
We did one last week down in Miami.
I don't think they're doing joint practice. They're just playing against the Bengals, I think.
Yeah, we're not doing one with Cincy or Pittsburgh. We had ours last week in Miami. Yeah.
How was it? How does that go? You guys have to negotiate everything, like every period, what the tempo is, who's going against all that. Is that a lot of bullshit or no?
No, I mean, it's easy if you got competent people on the other side, and we've done a lot of them. And you talk as coaches and your ops people, and when you're a visitor, say, hey, give me this, your practice plan. What do you want to do? Great, we'll be there. We script it out, and they give us the personnel and D&D, and then we go from there.
You love it? You love the joint practices because it's like a controlled preseason game, is what everybody says.
It is, but you got to do it with the right people.
You're the best. You've had some shitty ones, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Had some good ones,
Yep.
too. Have had some good ones, too.
Yeah.
Felt like we have gotten better. And not as good as that mustache, though. That thing is top notch. We're keeping it all season?
I think I'm in too deep. I don't know how I'll get out. I don't know how I'll get out of it.
Good.
It's like you've gone undercover as a cop, and you're just too far gone now.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
What's
Donnie
that?
Brasco.
Yeah, Donnie Brasco. And then who was that other one that won in Hell's Angels? The guy got in there.
Rusty Cole from True Detective.
Bingo. That's a documentary.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach. Have a great day. Sorry we wasted a lot of your life here, but it's going to get better.
I learned a lot today. I got better.
Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Falcons, Arthur Smith.
Coach.
He's awesome.
His delivery is amazing.
Man.
So dry.
What
So
a
dry.
legend.
He tried not to smile one time.
Dude, he popped himself a couple different times. The long game,
Yeah.
with
Tom Moore.
the knighting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one again and see how it goes.
Yeah, tried it last year.
Just so boom. Think about how many people talk to him and think this guy hates me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and they think he's dead serious all the time.
Yeah. Those first couple, he was giving us real coach answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it started slipping in. It's like,
woman.
oh yeah,
He can't help it. He couldn't help himself.
Here's the driest fucking guy in the NFL. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Falcons are going to the Super Bowl.
Is that your prediction?
I'm
Probably.
taking the Falcons.
SeatGeek ticker. Put it on a
I'm
SeatGeek
taking
ticker.
them. I'm taking them. I wish that guy, honestly, this is only the second time I felt this way where it's like, okay, after Belichick, I want that guy.
Well, it seems like he is very similar.
Yes.
You know, because they say the same stuff about Bill, like very dry, very funny, great person, charming, and
Yeah.
all these things. He is a guy, though, that if his team did not get into a fight, he would be worried, I think.
For sure.
If
Every coach in the NFL believes like you don't want anyone to get hurt. You don't want stupid cheap shots from behind. But yeah, something needs to go on.
All right, let's talk about some stuff happening around the NFL. Marlon Humphrey of the Baltimore Ravens, who was placed in Pac-Man's top 5 corners in the entire NFL list just last week,
my God.
is out for some time with a medical surgery taking place. An injury that may require a medical procedure, and his status for the start of the season is now up in the air, says Mike Garafolo. Now, I don't know what that injury is. I don't think that news has been broken.
I think Rap Sheet's Instagram story, he said it was his foot. I believe that's what he said.
Okay, so what do you got down there? You got Planner, you got that Liz Frank.
We hope it ain't that.
No, yeah, that's not good.
Liz Frank that's a season thing. Hopefully it's not. It wouldn't be that.
Just a broke.
If they said like there's
Even if
possible.
I sprained my Liz Frank, and I was out for like
That's nasty.
6-7 weeks.
So the Liz Frank is like a web that goes around your
hurts.
foot, basically, right? That's kind of how I've learned.
And then I know when you completely do it though, then it like dislocates, I believe, and tears everything, and then you got to find a way to put it back.
Yeah, when
through surgery.
When it's sprained, it's like twisted, like very, very painful, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what I don't think I understand.
Really? Yeah, it's a
Terrible.
nasty deal.
So we hope that isn't it. If it was, they would tell us, I think, because the projections would be, hey, this is going to be long term. Harbaugh said not long term. Okay, we were getting a heads up. So Marlon Humphrey, one of the best players the Baltimore Ravens have, is going in for a procedure. So we wish him Godspeed.
Godspeed. Go get him, Marlon.
Godspeed. There's a hold-in happening in Miami that I don't think any of us knew about. Christian Wilkins, who is a guy who did a great job on College Game Day.
Yes, he did.
He does the splits. You remember D-tackle? He does splits when he was at Clemson. He's also a menace on the football field.
Yes, he is.
He's not scared to grab and do the things that other people won't do to get under the skin or around the skin of the other team.
All the time.
Classic guy you want on your team, don't want to go against. That is him. He embraces it. He loves it. I think personally, and he's a great football player. He's been doing a hold-in down in Miami. I did not know that, AJ. Obviously, he's an incredible football player. He was a first-round pick. He's in his 5th year of his first contract. That means they picked up his 5th-year option. This is it for him. He's holding in. I hadn't heard it. That's a pretty big deal for a team that I think a lot of people have some high expectations for, AJ.
Yeah, and also though, I am surprised we haven't heard more about this. And at the bottom, where it says McDaniel said they agree and are currently in negotiation. So hey, he's holding in we get it. He's that good. We're working on it. We'll get it done soon. Is that what you're saying?
That seems to be happening everywhere. San Francisco with Bosa, Ziegler, Brad.
He's still holding out, though. Bosa's technically a holdout.
Yeah, but
it's like, hey, we know what it is. He'll be ready for game one.
That's what Kyle Shanahan actually said.
Yep.
He hasn't done a training camp ever, so we're good.
Ryan
You confident it's going to get done? Yeah, I'm confident it's going to get done. GM for the Las Vegas Raiders, Mr. Ziegler.
Yeah, Dave Ziegler.
Dave, there it is. Dave Ziegler. This guy who's friends with Josh McDaniels ends up hiring Josh McDaniels. Very active GM. I think a lot of people are excited about him being the GM. He came out and told a member of the crowd, he said, Josh Jacobs is going to be here. Don't worry about it. That's a big deal for the Josh Jacobs saga with the Raiders. Here's the video from just a few days ago.
Come on, give him at least 11 to 12 million. Oh, okay, give me the account. Hey, put some incentives in there. Here it comes. Hey, don't let it go. I got faith in you. Get it done. You got your back, buddy. You got your back. You got your back, man. Look what you're doing.
Okay, so sounds like what's going to happen is $12 million a year. Okay, let's put another $3 million in incentives on that thing. Now we got a $15 million deal. Make it a 2-year deal, or a 3-year deal. Do what you got to do, and you're done, right? Doesn't that feel like we got a deal done right there? Shout out to that. Give him some incentives, too. So he's like, yeah, I will. 11, 12. Yeah, we can make that happen. It's like, all right, shout out to that guy.
Was that his agent?
I don't know.
I think it was.
Should be. Not bad play, little public in there. We'll make it happen. I don't see a problem with that. It's like, okay, so it feels like the Josh Jacobs deal is probably going to get done, right? That's what it feels like.
I mean, it definitely seems like it's going well. If it's not done soon, these guys seem to be okay.
Stay in the running back market. Chris Ballard chatted with NFL Radio on Sirius XM at training camp practice just yesterday about Jonathan Taylor and his status. Here's what Chris Ballard, the general manager of the Indianapolis Colts, had to say about Jonathan Taylor, currently very unhappy with being an Indianapolis Colt.
Oh, and look, I think the world of Jonathan. He's been a great Colt, been a great player for the Colt. Unfortunately, last year he got hurt early in the season, was dinged all year, fought through it till he finally got to a point where he had to, have the surgery. And now he's finishing his rehab process. And so hopefully as we move forward here, we'll get him back, but we need to get him 100% healthy before we do anything.
Okay, 100% healthy has been said on both sides now. Obviously, he was out of state allegedly, getting his ankle worked on last week. He's back in the building, still demanding a trade. He said, look, I'm a big fan of him at the beginning. Let me set the stage here. I love this guy. Flat bill cap, looks very cool.
Yes.
Great. Obviously sounds cool. What did you hear there, if anything, AJ?
I didn't hear much. It didn't make me feel that great about him being back in the building anytime soon and ready to play.
Yeah.
No real.
He said he's done great things for the Colt. He's played great for the Colt.
He all the way healthy?
He didn't say he will play great for the Colt later on.
Yeah, I didn't like that it wasn't plural either.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Is he all the way healthy?
I don't know. Nobody really knows, I don't think. I think that's the thing, is everybody, we all assume as a fan of the team, of the Colt, that he's holding out right now, using this ankle as a way to say, I'm not fucking doing it.
Easy excuse.
I got to be
He's probably not 100. He's probably not 100, but if he had a deal, he'd probably be in practice. He's probably like, okay, why would I go out there when I'm not 100%?
This is potentially James Harden in Vegas strip club at 290 pounds.
Yep.
Get me out of Houston.
There you go.
And then next day, Brooklyn, 155 pounds.
Yeah.
Back to being in remarkable shape.
Exactly.
That's what I think a lot of people are thinking Jonathan Taylor's doing. So to hear Chris Ballard be like, you got to get him back to 100%. It's like, okay, well, he's also worried about the injury. So I guess that legitimizes the injury a little bit more, or no?
I don't know. The injury part of it confuses the hell out of me. I really don't know.
Out of state.
You want to get him healthy? So, I don't know. Like, he requested a trade, but what is that? Would that ever happen? Would they be able to trade him?
Yeah, like the question there should have been, Jim Irsay said, Pards, we ain't ever trading you. Now or in October. Has that changed at all with the dynamics of everything? Because there's one running back out there left, right? Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook signs for 8.
Yeah, 8.6.
Zeke signs for 6.
Boom.
So you would assume Kareem Hunt will be for like 4.
Yeah.
No offense, Kareem Hunt, but like that's probably how it's going to go in this entire thing. Colts probably very interested in Kareem Hunt.
Have to be.
They made an offer.
Yeah. Because this situation with
That's what Lombo said, right?
yeah,
Somebody said.
or that the physical
Gotta be interested
the physical
everywhere.
part of it might not have been.
You would think, because, the guy's a player. They show highlights of him. It's like, hey, when Kareem Hunt's playing.
Yeah.
And I think he's a big energy guy.
Yeah.
I think he's a big, team guy.
He's a big bruiser. When he gets rolling, good luck to defense. It's tough to stop that dude.
Anthony Richardson, Kareem Hunt in the backfield. We also just
Oh,
signed.
my God.
Was it not Kenyon Drake?
Jeez.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
Kenyon
they
Drake.
did get
Was it
Kenyon
Kenyon Drake? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Signed Kenyon Drake as well. It's like we got some real. Not that we have Kareem Hunt, but if we put Kareem Hunt back there now, obviously not Dalvin Cook.
No.
Okay, which would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Could have been the guy.
They may have tried to get him.
Doesn't sound like it.
Sounds like he was just Jets or Dolphins and kind of.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Maybe we don't know what his favorite places were to go.
Well, if he touched foot in Indianapolis, he'd say, "I won't be here."
You think?
Oh,
Taking
yeah.
what?
They
Tim
take-
McGraw? What concert?
No, take him to the State Fair.
Look at
There you go.
Good
State
point.
Fair.
Give him a cheese coney.
You take him to that circle right there.
State Fair is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
You run them by there.
Exactly.
Walk them through. Do the whole
4-H
thing.
clubs. Yeah, look at the big pig competition.
The
Who's got
biggest
the biggest
pig.
Yeah,
cow.
it's not a big pig.
The
buddy.
biggest
Yeah.
pig, not a pig.
Donkey
Oh,
show, all of it. Do it all.
There's no donkey show happening at the State Fair.
No.
You are a pig.
What
Let's
happens
get to
there?
a break. Let's get to a break.
Everything good.
I can't believe you just said what you said. It's unbelievable. Can't have a real recruiting
I
trip
wasn't saying anything
conversation.
bad about. I didn't
What
say
a
anything
pig.
bad about the State Fair. Nothing
You,
bad
said-
about
you
the
said
State
donkey show as if they would do something like that at the State Fair.
Maybe
They
I
got
don't
Happens
know.
at I don't know what happens at your donkey show. I'm not thinking,
okay.
There's nothing weird in my
You know what
fair.
happens to yours?
Donkeys trotting around and people just go look at them, watch them ride donkeys.
Yep.
Not ride them, but they lead them around with a little string.
Is that right?
Okay.
I don't know what donkey shows you've been going to.
Who's riding who here?
Nobody's riding anyone.
You just said.
That's not what you said.
No, I didn't mean it. The donkeys, they're being led.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
By
You
what?
been a Mexico?
Led by what?
Got it. You got a call, though, dude? All right. Oh, my arm's sore. Oh, man. Only arm day every day.
Packed hog ass this morning.
I mean, your legs are genetically gifted anyway. You don't need to lift legs.
I've been doing some cardio. Every morning. Fasted cardio, they say. That'll
Climber?
Now,
Climber?
elliptical. I look
There
like
we
that
go.
guy with the long hair and those infomercials.
Oh, nice.
With Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Miola?
Tony. Oh,
Marcus?
no, yeah. It was back in the day, like the
John Bay style.
he
The
used to be
first
very
ever
big,
elliptical.
and he used to be very big, and then he got jacked and shredded.
Yeah, Tony
Little.
Jared.
Tony Little.
Tony Little. That's what I look like every morning. Mile and a half this morning, Tony Little. And
Hey, he looks great. Good job.
I know. He popped up on the throwback page, and I was like, you know what? Yeah. If Tony
He had that
Little,
elliptical. He could lean backwards. Remember, he could lean backwards, lean forwards. He did it all. I haven't thought of him in years.
he was good. I seen him on the internet, and I was like, that's what I'm doing. That's where I need to be.
Take a page
There
off
you
your-
are.
Yep.
That's where I need.
Look at that form. He is on point.
Bro, look at the calf full extension too. A lot of people think that's all arms. He's pushing into that.
Oh,
thing.
Wow.
He's like 6'5", right?
Yeah. You're a terrible person. You hear me?
I'm serious. What are you talking about?
Let's talk about people that aren't as tall, I guess. Jet Passon told a 15-year-old that he was a dickhead last night.
Yes, he did.
Incredible.
Love
I
that.
did see that.
You did?
I did see that. Yeah, I did. Where was that being streamed
John
or
Boy,
shown?
right?
Yeah.
That's John Boy. That's the good baseball. Hey, I'm a big fan of the old John Boy crew.
Yeah, they do awesome.
They do very awesome.
Where'd they go? Didn't someone pick them up? A network or platform?
So I think they sold. I think they did a 20% sale to round up money to build their own thing bigger, I think. And then
Okay.
I think I tried to follow along because I'm a fan of what they do.
They did something like that. I know they did something. I remember, I don't know how many months ago.
I believe they got a big DraftKings deal as well.
Are they part of the DraftKings network?
I think so.
I don't know if they are officially. They
Well, actually,
they raised $5 million in funding.
do you know
last
what
year.
percent?
No.
Well, congratulations to them. Not easy to give money.
Actually,
I think it was 0.5%.
That's very
good pizzazz, Bruce.
That's very, very good.
Yeah.
It was good pizzazz, Bruce. It was a good well, actually.
It was.
Haven't had one of those in a long time.
No,
Yeah.
too long.
We are thinking about having a announcement coming tomorrow.
Whoa.
When we get to
Okay.
that's coming out tomorrow.
What is?
The announcement of when we're starting.
Oh, the A is coming tomorrow.
Yeah. The A, because at one point it was TBD.
Not anymore.
Then it got D'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
D'd hard.
TBA tomorrow.
Now it's getting A'd.
I mean, yeah, the deed and the aid are coming together.
We were thinking about having, which is always a good time,
Always.
when you try to determine something and then you are at the stage of announcing it, that's a good time.
Yes. Yeah.
That means a decision has been made. An agreement was reached.
Mm-hmm.
And then bang, here we go. Let's A this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
With that being said, whenever we are on there, TBA'd tomorrow, we're thinking about having like a corrections segment where Bruce would actually the shit out of the whole show at the end, because there's going to be people that get very mad at us on ESPN whenever we say things like
He's a fact checker. He's a fact checker guy, right?
Yeah, but him trying to correct us for whenever we say like, dude threw for like 700 yards yesterday, and he comes on, well, actually it was 527, and be like, okay.
Fuck off.
Okay, because I think we should have that on the program, you know, to let people know we get it.
We
what
know.
you're saying.
Yep.
Well, actually, but that's going to be a tough job for Bruce.
It is. Yeah.
He's going to get verbally assaulted.
Yeah, he's
every
gonna-
single time he comes onto the microphone.
I think it'll go great.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You got to step in, chin up.
That's where somebody like me has to say, you know, I'll be the adult. I got to protect that guy.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you might have to, because, boy, he's going to hear it from this side.
Well, actually, the presidential debate last night was won by.
So basically, actually, like DeSantis knocked it out of the park last night. So basically, he's gonna win.
Bruce wouldn't say that.
Bruce would not say that. There's no chance Bruce would say that. But it's like that type of take, and obviously not in politics, but on sports, that he would actually the entire group, and then he would get motherfucked until literally the show ended.
Yeah.
And I'm just sending him out there for that. I don't know if I want that for the guy.
No.
Bruce is a
Sounds
good
like he
guy.
wants that.
Yeah, he should.
Bruce doesn't think it's going to happen, and that's what I'm saying. But I think Bruce.
No, I mean, I got a good chin. We'll be fine.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
All right. All in favor of doing it, I guess say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, I said aye.
I know you're participating.
Not a boy.
Okay.
Well, actually, Bruce is going to be a thing then.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Congrats,
There
Bruce.
you go, Brucey.
Tell you what, the lighting on the left side of this screen is phenomenal.
It is.
Yeah,
now that we've got new cameras and stuff.
It's kind of a shame.
What happened?
Well, I heard you look like shit compared to what the new lighting is on this side.
Yeah, kind of a.
You're right. Your guys' new lighting's amazing, and your cameras.
A lot of people are.
Cameras are
talking.
the same. We actually had to just change the
Actual
quality down to the frames per minute. We had to downgrade while upgrading something else to comply with their stuff.
Of course.
You know, because we built the studio last year. So we got all the stuff that is for sale, you know, now.
Futuristic.
It's already vintage, huh? Yeah. 8 months later.
No, our stuff's still good, but certainly stuff from 20 years ago
Right.
is
Still.
or 10 years ago, even, vastly different. So we've had to,
Kind of dial it back.
Yeah.
but also ramp up another. It's been like a math equation happening
Bingo.
with the cameras. I think they figured it out.
Yeah. Ramp and dial.
We look good. It was a good look. You look very good over there. Talk to
So do you? Actually, the first time it came up, I was confused as why the lighting was the way it was, and it just looked perfect. That's why.
Yeah, and like tone, put on tone. It's like he has like an actual spotlight on him.
Yeah. Looks tan.
Oh my god, and a 3/4 zip hoodie.
My
Is that,
God.
is that a Fitbit? What is that?
It's a whoop.
Whoop.
Oh, it's a whoop. Yeah, my bad.
You wear that whoop every day?
Yeah.
You're a hero.
Your steps. Track your sleep,
it's, for-
Tone?
it's only for sleep. Literally, it's only for sleep.
How do you sleep? Does it tell you good?
It was good for a little bit. It's been shit the last week. I can tell you that.
See, that kind of scared me. Because what if it's wrong? And then I wake up, I look at it like, oh, going to be a shitty day.
See, I like to guess. Before I look at it, I was like, oh, I feel like shit.
Can't let it control you.
Yeah, but you should just always say, I slept good last night.
Yeah. Feel great.
Boom, and then you're off
Yeah.
and running.
You can do that?
Yeah.
It's true. That's what I do.
And
Yeah.
just convince
yeah.
your brain.
That's actually why I can't do the whoop, because I didn't need this thing telling me any negativity. I don't need you telling me
It's a good point.
I didn't sleep well last night. I don't fucking know that. Okay.
My brain is
Tell me every morning I slept great.
Feel
Thanks.
good.
That's what I need.
I thought so.
my brain
Thank
is
you.
way stronger than my inner thoughts. It knows.
Respect to your brain.
I can't convince my brain to think something. It knows.
But if the whoop said,
Oh, jeez.
but if the whoop said,
Oh,
you
you
had a
slept
great
good.
bingo. You had it
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, feel good.
Feel even better.
Yeah, I don't know why. That must be something.
What's wrong with
What's going on? Maybe allergies or something. I slept good. Look at this.
Yeah.
99%.
Whoops told me.
This thing told me I slept more hours than I would have had. I think so too.
It's interesting.
What if we made something that literally just said, although you only slept for 4 hours, it's worth 8 hours of sleep? Just like to tell people, like, yeah, fucking right.
That's not a bad idea.
Like the live
The fully positive whoop.
Yeah.
All positivity all the time, but it's trying to, that's a good idea.
And we should call it whoop, yeah.
Yeah.
There you
A
go.
little bit more positive. Whoop plus.
Whoop plus.
There it is.
Something to think about.
Just send it. What's it do? Good morning. You slept amazing. You did great. You got great hands.
Yeah.
And you're quick still.
Well, I wouldn't go that far about the hands after what happened before the show started.
Punted a couple balls to.
Yeah, he just caught me off guard.
Oh.
It's the light. You know, you got to go around and look at the lights first.
No, those lights didn't get changed.
I punted some balls to Pac-Man before the show went live. Still got it for one of them. I mean, he
dropped 2.
He did. He actually dropped 2.
Dropped 2, caught 2.
It's because he's used to catching him with 9 guys about to kill him.
Sure.
All right. At the end of this next hour, I'll punt 4 balls to Pac.
Okay.
We have to successfully complete 4 of those.
Catch them all.
One
Okay.
hand.
Yeah.
One hand?
Yeah.
Are you going to hold them all?
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. That'll be the giveaway.
Right.
On this Winter Wednesday, we will announce and find new winners if Pac-Man Jones is able to catch 4 straight punts one-handed.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Cake. Artie Smith wanted to sign you to return punts right now.
Yeah,
He did.
The smaller balls, too.
Oh,
the baby dude.
Easy.
Hey.
Come on.
Let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side. We got Lucas Glover joining us.
Hell yeah.
The man who just beat Memphis's Heat
Yep.
and the golf course to win the playoffs. The FedEx Cup playoffs down there at the St. Jude Classic or whatever. I cannot wait to chat with this man.
Yeah.
43 years old, coming into the spotlight, was 112th place before the last tournament of the season, before the playoffs where you have to be top 70. 112th, wins that tournament, gets like 49th or something, wins the first playoffs. He's now the 4th ranked golfer in the world. Was 112th like 17 days ago.
Yeah.
That's a come up.
Legend.
Yeah.
He won a major how many years ago, too? Like, he's gone. It's been a roller coaster for this guy. It's a cool story.
Never been on the Ryder Cup team. He mentioned that whenever he won, he was like 15 minutes ago, we talked about the Ryder Cup. And, well, what are your thoughts on it? He's, I've never been on one. I want to be on one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I think he's
earned it.
I wouldn't mind seeing that big fucking putter
Yeah.
make its way into the Ryder Cup for the United States of America. We'll chat with him on the other side of this break. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
Pat McAfee sell on your stunner at WrestleMania. Where does that rank all time? That's got to be pretty up there.
Man, top three. And I got to say top 3 because The Rock, number 1, the way he oversold, and Scott Hall and some of the other guys that took it. But I mean, Pat has a natural feel for the business, epic performer, great on the stick.
I apologize that you're a punk bitch.
Athletically, that match he had with Theory was awesome. And then the kicker was not only the sell of the stunner, but to lay there selling, still guzzling the beer, the presence of mind to ad lib and improvise and like this is a moment without even thinking about it. I think he's amazing. He's very entertaining. And as a human being, I like him a whole lot. And here's an off-the-record story. The second night that we were at Mania, I was just planning on drinking whiskey with my Broken Skull Sessions crew. And so we had a bottle all lined up, and we were just going to drink during the show and show respect to the people that were working. Well, Vince called me into his room and said, hey, man, would you come out in the end and stun me, McAfee, and Theory? And I said, sure. So I couldn't drink until after the show. Okay. So the show happens, I go out there, stun all those cats. Brock Lesnar gets done with his match, the main event with Roman Reigns. And me and Brock have been wanting to bond together and have a few cocktails to begin with. And he goes, hey man, you got anything? I said, yeah. I said, where are we meeting? He goes, my locker room. So it was myself, Brock Lesnar, Larry, one of the trainers who's been there forever, you know Larry, and Pat McAfee.
What a day, what a dream, what a life. Now I'm gonna have a couple more Steve Weisers. What? Maybe a little whiskey. What?
And we took down a fifth. We just passed the bottle around. At first we were drinking out of little cups. Then it just turned into the bottle. And we took down a fifth at Maker's Mark in about an hour. and then we all went our separate ways.
And we fucking did
And I heard through the grapevine that a couple of those guys woke up with severe headaches.
Really, and I don't want to undersell this, really hungover. You know what I mean?
From what you had inside the ring that we saw on camera, and then what was there a thing afterwards?
Well, there might have been, yeah, a lot afterwards.
But it was a bonding moment, after a big show like that of 4 guys, and I just barely met Pat, but he was already one of the boys because of his football background and how everybody, in WWE has taken to him. And me and Brock's relationship goes back a long way, as does Larry. So it was a good time, and that was one of my highlights of WrestleMania, a behind-the-scenes moment that I shared with you.
Obviously, this is a conversation starter for everybody when they're talking about the dynasty, and there's still Raiders fans that are pissed off about this. Here's the game plan. Go out there in the middle of a snowstorm and make a kick that you're not supposed to make at all from 45 yards.
This is the Patriots season on the line.
Do you remember this moment right here in your head? Were you scared to death? Were you fucking pumped?
I would say I was probably more scared to death as I'm watching the Tuck Rule review and realizing, holy shit, we get the ball back. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's coming all down to you, man.
This will be a 45-yard attempt. That's Vinatieri's luck from this distance of late.
Once I got out on the field, I really had 3 thoughts. First and foremost, try to attack the ball, but stay light on your feet. Just like anybody, you're running on ice. If your cleats don't stick, you're falling on the ground, and then the ball's going to end up hitting your center right in the back of the head. I wasn't thinking about missing 4 of the last 5, if that's truly what was going on. For me, it was all about, hey, these guys aren't going to be able to get a good rush, get it straight and get it above the line of scrimmage. And thank goodness, as it left and I saw that they didn't block it, then it was all about, I don't know if it's going to have enough distance in this snow, let's hope for the best. And I really didn't know until the referees at the back of the end zone raised their hands. I couldn't really see it. Couldn't tell if it was good or not.
Hell yeah, because it's a snow globe. What a kick. What a moment. Obviously, that would go on to launch a dynasty that the NFL will never see again or before. What a kick. What a moment. Here's an overtime. You got to make another one.
Substantially easier kick. Not just because of the distance, but we called a timeout. We cleaned a bunch of ground. This is the one time that a coach actually icing me probably benefited us, right? Because it gave my offensive lineman with the big size 16 cleats to get out there and move a little bit more ground. And, not to say a game winner's ever easy, but this one compared to the one quarter before that was substantially different.
So you're coming out here sighing a little bit of relief. Oh, thank God. I can see the ground. I'm not going to fall.
Right.
We've already done this.
Exactly.
This is no problem.
Tied.
And then you murder that ball dead center. And then obviously in the Super Bowl, you have like a 49-yarder that you hit at the top of the upright. Couldn't have been a better ball, I don't think. You hit it cleaner. You have something inside of you, okay, that not a lot of people have. And Joe Burrow seemingly is a guy that has it. What is that?
I would love to tell you that I was born with or I developed the ability to, be a clutch under pressure. I do think that there's certain people that are born with the want or the ability to say, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Mariano Rivera, these guys and ladies are the type of people that go, I want the game coming down to me. I want to be the reason, LeBron, I want to be the reason why we win or lose. I was kind of that same person, playing soccer as center midfield, and in baseball, I either wanted to pitch or catch. I'd leave it there. I know what you're thinking. Knock it off. I know you. Anyway, but I always wanted to, be in the middle of the game and be the reason why. So once I get to football, obviously 59 minutes of the game, I'm standing on the sideline, but I guess this is the one opportunity that I can put exclamation on the game or the icing on the cake or whatever you want to do.
Probably still play safety, but we did see something today.
Yeah, I don't know if he could still play safety just because, I happened to catch a pass against him.
What? You did? It was not a moss.
I did. I had to reach over him a little and snag it out of his hand.
Do we have a video? You just caught a ball on Adam Pac-Man Jones. How do you feel, Connor?
Pretty good. Looking back on it now, probably should have been the 6th overall pick in the 2006 NFL draft, but that was him, and I caught a pass on him, so I'm shaking. I mean, I can't believe that just happened.
Pac, a man who has obviously never really played a sport competitively past high school, just caught a ball on you. Your thoughts?
Fake moss.
Now that it's 1-1, we'll stop it.
Somebody got to win.
The guy that didn't even stop after just Deboing your head coach, let's get him the fuck out of the building. I mean, unless he just hates McVay, which we need to maybe look into a little bit more. I'm sure he wouldn't not know that happened. Maybe he was trying to get as far away from it as possible. But whenever he didn't stop, I thought to myself, whoa, are the Rams?
What the hell's going on here?
What's going on with the Rams?
Oh, they're dead.
That's the head coach that just got blown up and nobody even stopped to see if he was okay, aside from a couple coaches. The guy that hit him just keeps on fucking jogging on the field, not even oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Not even one of those guys.
He couldn't have known. He couldn't have known it was the head coach.
If that happens on the field, they're pulling Sean into the blue tent. Hey, are you sure you're okay? I mean, you didn't fall, you didn't drop the ball. You just got hit right on the button that we're talking about. Sean McVay eats it, spits it out, puts the headset back on. Thought his commentating career was in jeopardy.
Sure.
He's allegedly been offered $15 to $20 million to go into the booth, which I think we're going to see a lot sooner than later with how this whole Rams thing is going. Bounces back, calls the rest of the game. Now they lose. They are not good, but he's a tough son of a bitch. I think we all need to start recognizing that a little bit more about McVay.
Can you imagine how fucking sore he is today? He's eating out of a straw for the next week.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. Hour 3 of this program starts right now. Sports!
Pac-Man.
I heard it and I stopped. I didn't say anything because I heard some sports leak in.
You didn't hear some, just one.
What is it? What's the plan, guys?
The plan?
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this glorious Wednesday, August 16, 2023, hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! I like that. I like whenever we showcase to the world that we're all on the same page.
Exactly. Me too.
I like when everybody's hands are in team on me. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Team.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, on the big screen right next to me here is AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys turn Diggs is here. And 14-year NFL icon Pac-Man Jones is live in the Thunderdome. Joining us now is a man who in the FedEx Cup points standings was 112th just a few weeks back. Then he wins the last tournament of the season before the playoffs. Then he wins the first tournament of the playoffs.
What?
Now he's sitting number 4 for the FedEx Cup points, looking to win it all this upcoming weekend. An absolute beauty, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Glover.
Thanks, Pat. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Lucas, thank you for joining us. Honestly, whenever I say this, I don't want you to hold it against me. I'm an idiot. Okay, a very dumb one. I enjoy life. I enjoy sports. I watch golf every single weekend as the time passes by, especially now that I have a young baby at home with the wife. There's a lot of sitting and watching. I've seen your name, obviously, a lot, Glover, in the scorecard and in the sheets and everything like that. But these past couple weeks, getting to spend with you has been a real joy. I want to let you know that. Learning about you and watching you golf has been a lot of fucking fun. I appreciate what you've done for us these last couple weekends, Lucas, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, with that being said, let's talk about being in Memphis in August, okay? 175 degrees, I assume, was the actual temperature. I bet everybody is asking you about this because as we were watching at home, I personally run hot and am a sweater. So when I was watching you battle through that course on Sunday after a rain delay, putting your hands in the cooler, your pants were treasonous, absolute traitors to you. What was it like mentally? Was it as draining as it looked going, watching at home, or what were you telling yourself throughout the entire day to keep going?
Literally drink as much water as possible and just try to keep the hands hands cool and dry. You know, I don't wear a glove, so had to work on that pretty hard. But yeah, it was hot, as my pants proved to the whole world.
Yeah, and obviously I appreciate that you didn't let that affect you, you know, because like I would never wear this color ever. Okay, with the way my ass sweats and the way Memphis is in the middle of August at 155% humidity, I assume you did not expect this to be possible either. But that is like the first indicator of like, that guy's hot as fuck.
Yeah, he's sweating.
That guy right there is hot as hell. Now they're talking about potentially guys wearing shorts because of it. Have you been asked about that? Did you realize that that was going to be a massive conversation on the internet as it's happening? And how did the pants come to be? And have they apologized to you, the people that made the pants?
I think I do have some more athletic wicking pants on the way. Yes, but if that's what it takes to let us wear shorts in the summer on the PGA Tour, I'll be happy to take one for the team.
Okay, so you're in on this. Have you been asked?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I'm way in. Yeah, for sure. Give it, let's say May 15th to September 15th. Give us the option.
I love that. And is that a real movement, you think, right now?
I don't know. We'll see. You know, they do the caddy bibs optional when it's a certain temperature. So maybe they'll do the swamp ass optional for the players.
The Lucas Glover swamp ass rule. We'll all remember where we were when we saw this man battle the city of Memphis and its heat. I appreciate that you didn't let it bother you at all and just finished the round, did your thing. AJ has a question for you, Lucas.
Lucas, I'm curious about like just the roller coaster ride that being on the PGA Tour must be. I know like your path is you win the U.S. Open in 2009, and then it's just always grinding, always battling, and now what you have done, like just it's unbelievable how quickly it can turn in golf. I guess is that something that always has to be on your mind? Like, hey, I'm one good day away from making things great.
Yeah. I think. And ironically, I played with. Ironically, you'd ask that question because I can give a story to give my answer here. But I played with 27-year-old Nick Hardy last week, the first two rounds. Who's a great kid and got a bright future out here. And after Friday's round, he asked me. He goes, "Hey man, what's been your key to be out here? You know, your 20th season?" I said, "It's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems." He goes, "Well, can you expand on that?" I said, "Bro, if you're playing bad, you're one shot away from turning it around. And if you're playing good, you're one shot away from potentially playing bad. It's just depending on how you react to it." And I do believe that. And I learned that at a pretty young age because some of my mentors kind of drilled that into me. It's never that far off. To be out here on the tour, you got to be pretty good. So it's never that far from being good, but it can turn the other way too. It's just a matter how you react to it. So AJ, that being said, it's been a grind for 10 years. There's been some success, there's been some failures, but that's always been in my mind is just a little bit of momentum here, a little bit of momentum there, and then we can get this thing going again.
Keeping that optimism is a mental toughness that not a lot of people have. You know, like for instance, I decided I'm never going back to that Tahoe golf tournament because you know how you said one good shot can change everything. I didn't have one. I didn't have one.
Not one? 4 days.
Not one. The golf gods did not say, yeah, you know what? You got it.
This is the one.
Not one time.
Let's give Pat a good one here.
Not one time, Lucas. I'm telling you, AJ was there for all of it. Not one. I had 5 lip outs. 5.
At least.
Actually.
Chip in lip outs. Imagine one of those falls, Lucas. Oh my God. I'm going.
Yeah, you'll play every day if one of those falls.
Let's talk about one of those falling for you and then 2 of those falling for you on that final round. Are you keeping up with the score of everything that's happening behind you, knowing that you're par, kind of grinding it out? You make that 30-footer, then you make that 20-footer, and they're like center cup, falling right, like perfect putts. Are those shots doing anything for your psyche on Sunday, or how do you kind of battle through that round, knowing that I think McElroy was coming, Cantley was coming, I think Fleetwood was moving a little bit. Like, do you notice that? Do you keep up with all that? And when those putts fall, what does that do for you?
Well, you make a 20-footer for par on 13, a 30-footer for bogey on 14. If there's such thing as a good bogey, that was one of them. But those were just momentum plays, and just keep the momentum and staying in the game. That's kind of what I had to do last week because I didn't really have it full swing last Saturday, Sunday, especially late Sunday. chipping and putting kept me in it. So all your lip outs, I think the golf gods you spoke about, they gave me the benefit instead of you. So thanks, Pat.
Hey, I would like to tell them right now, take them all from me, give them all this fucking guy. Because as I continue to learn your story, we love you. Tone has a question actually right in line with that.
Yeah, as you've shot up the rankings in FedEx Cup points, you've also shot up the Ryder Cup standings. I assume that's in the back of your mind. And how's that process going? Has any of the captains reached out to you yet or talked to you about the Ryder Cup process?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously jumped up there pretty high and always been a goal of mine. Ever since I turned pro, I think representing your country as an athlete is the highest honor. And played on a couple of President's Cup teams as a pro and just had a ball. My relationship with Zach, the captain, Zach Johnson, predates obviously his captaincy, but we came out together on this tour in 04. Known him a long time. So yeah, I've talked to him as a friend and then he called the other day to speak a little bit about the Ryder Cup and that I'm on the radar. So very cool to hear from a close friend and then to get some encouragement from him.
You're on the Ryder radar, or what is that? Have you ever been on the Ryder radar before? And
the radar, yeah. I didn't get picked a couple of times, but I got a couple of weeks to make my case.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Fuck. Wow.
Here we go.
You know what I mean?
Lucas, what'd that conversation go? What kind of questions is he asking you? Like, hey, how good do you feel? And you have to just, no matter what, say, I feel as good as I've ever felt. I feel amazing. I'm going to make every single putt. I love being on a team. Like, what do you say to him there?
America.
I just basically it was thank you for the call, and then he said, I'll send you some info. I said, cool, I'm in. So answered his questions, and it was a lot more of a friend conversation. Like I said, we've been friends for 20 years. So.
How many more years you think you'll be able to do this?
Man, that's the best news about my sport is this, you play it a long, long time if your body holds up. So I think it just
body
depends.
feels good.
My body feels good. I've been blessed with decent health. Only had a couple minor injuries and always had a good back and decent wrists. And the most important things for golf, I got a couple of knee surgeries under my belt, but nothing major.
Hell yeah, so do we. I don't know how you walk that fucking course all the time, but I don't want to go back too far here. What Zach, he said he's going to send you, that's hotel reservation stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Flights, uniform, sizes.
New shoes.
Sizes for sure. Sizes.
I'm a 30, you look like a 32, 34, maybe 34.
13 shoe.
Probably get a flag as well.
Those pants were like 38s by the end of it on Sunday.
Yeah, I tell you what, they were hanging there. They were hanging. Honestly, like you, that is a nightmare. I'm a big time sweater, and I don't know if you're normally a sweater or if it's Memphis in August, everybody's a sweater. But like, watch, as soon as I turn it on Sunday and I see what's going on, I'm like, better man than me. I would be very uncomfortable.
WD
in that situation. I would potentially, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm actually out of here. But let's talk about golf again instead of your swamp ass. That might be a rule changer forever.
Yeah, we'll see.
Which is good. They showed some putting stuff of you from before. Obviously, I think it's your worst putting stroke of all time. They showed it like 1,000 times. It was like a 6-inch putt that you kind of took that thing around. I'm a horrendous putter. You know what I mean? Golfing gods, once again, just won't let one of them accidentally hit the fucking hole. You know what I mean? It just won't happen. You change your putting style to that big long one. And I know there's conversation about it and how many people use it. Why was the change made? And that thing is right in the middle of the blade too. Is this thing designed for you? And at what point did you decide to do this and make your putting a weapon as opposed to a potential weakness in your game?
Yeah. I'd fought the yips pretty hard for about 10 years, like legitimate, like yips, as that stroke they showed over and over. That was a recurring theme for me and obviously brought me down. So I was kind of at the end of my rope with that stuff. So it was try this long one or left-handed, honestly. And those were my last two options. And this one worked. It's freed up my stroke, freed up my mind, and it's kind of been the missing piece. Been working with it about 3 months now, so been a nice fix to a long lasting problem.
Was it as soon as you did it, you were like, yeah, this is it, or?
It was honestly just to be a little technical here. It basically was a whole new motor skill. So my brain had no scar tissue to have those yippee nervy strokes, because it was so foreign and so different that it was basically a way that my brain was able to be rewired to kind of get over that hump.
Yeah, they talk about muscle memory, and people are like, well, what's the actual realness of muscle memory? It's like, well, it sounds like ask Lucas Glover what muscle memory is. For whatever reason, whenever he's doing this particular motion, his thing's doing one thing, but then you get to a brand new muscle usage, and it's like, oh, I can rebuild this. That had to be a freeing feeling.
Very much. Yeah, to the point where it was fun to go practice, fun to go putt, fun to go, and then you see some results from that. It makes it more fun. All right, let's groove this in, make some more, and that being a weakness for so long, and all of a sudden turning into a strength. Like I said, it just makes it fun to go work on it, fun to try to even get better at, and your short game out here is your livelihood, because when you don't hit it great, you got to have something to keep you in there and stay consistent. And again, that putting thing was what was holding me back, and it feels great to, as you said, be an asset, be a weapon instead of something that's been dragging me down.
Hell yeah. Well, enjoy it all. We've enjoyed watching you. We can't wait to see where you end up and what you end up doing. Sounds like you're on the Ryder Cup team. I mean, you just, I know you got a press conference. Good luck this weekend, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, Pat. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, where are you from again?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Are you a South Carolina fan? Go Cox?
Clemson. So not go Cox.
Ooh.
Oh. No Cox. No Cox.
No Cox.
No Cox. No Cox.
No Cox.
Not in this family.
Nope.
No Cox.
This family.
No way. We're Tigers around here. All right, appreciate you.
That's it.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen.
said it perfect.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Glover. Thank you, buddy. That was a good convo.
Yeah,
he's the man.
I feel like we just had a good golf conversation.
I'm sure he ended with some guy from like PGA.com. The guy ended with the same kind of question.
So no Cox? Or
For sure.
Yeah.
Not in this family.
No? Okay.
No Cox.
I was just reading about those. That was wild. He had like panic attacks on the green.
Dude, I could see how that would happen with the way
10
those...
years. 10 years.
The Navy SEAL
what?
fixed him.
You see how miserable I am at Tahoe? I could see, and I do that, once a year? I've done it twice in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Those greens are impossible. They are...
Left-handed. What if he would have gone left-handed? That would be amazing.
He had a Navy SEAL fix him.
Was it,
Really?
what's his face? Goggins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave
Who was it?
Goggins.
Who are you?
It was
Goggins?
some. I was just reading about it. Some Navy SEAL who was a minor league baseball pitcher who had the same thing with pitching, where just one day he couldn't throw the ball anymore.
Yeah, AJ sent the post, I think, into the group about that.
It was different, I think. but-
Oh, I've been participating.
Okay. All right, let's get out of this conversation, and we thank Lucas Glover so much.
Everybody loves a comeback.
Yeah, they do.
Amen.
Bro, could you imagine, though? Maybe I need to go do that. New motorcycle.
Yeah, do that. Get that big old long putter. You'll look amazing doing it. Looks really easy, too. Looks so easy.
Did you see it? Yeah, he's got like a broom.
It looks impossible.
Maybe like
It looks
swinging,
impossible.
Maybe like swinging a baseball bat. Maybe you're a lefty putter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Could be.
Ooh.
Maybe I need little baby hockey stick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
happy.
For real.
I should be better at it than I am, honestly. And I think
You're a good putter. What are you talking about? You
I'm
are a
not.
good putter.
I can get it. The motherfuckers
You
don't fall. You know what I mean?
How many bogey saves did you have from like 10 to 20 feet? You had a lot.
Those were sick. That was day one. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
That was cool. I thought that was the new me. It was not. It was not.
No.
It did not happen ever again.
But it was hot.
I thought it was the new me. Like, this is a cool thing.
Unfortunately, golf doesn't have that. It's day to day, I feel like.
Yeah, it's stroke to stroke. But those greens are so fast.
Yeah, you were putting well. Like it's not as if that course reflects everywhere. When you go out and play just a regular course,
It's much easier to
yeah,
putt.
you putt unbelievable.
Which is amazing to think about. Like, him having actual fear of every weekend.
Yeah.
10 years is what he's doing.
That's a
He
night.
probably
Just
feared like ever having a putt that really meant something. Can you imagine him like, okay, what happens if I'm actually in the lead of a tournament and it comes down to something?
best case scenario. Okay,
Jeez.
I'm in the lead of a majors. Let's say it's the Masters. Okay, I'm in Augusta, Georgia. Hole 18. I have a one-stroke lead. This is what I want. This is my dream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna groove one out to the fairway. Obviously, I'm a fucking 9-iron in. Okay, now what? Well, got a 2-putt. That's easy.
That's it.
From 30 feet, 2-putt. Then that first one, leave it at like 11 feet. Oh, no. Oh, buddy. Is that what I want? Is that what I want in my life? I had to think in much smaller scale, this whole thing. But remember, a couple years after I retired, I was thinking about going and kicking field goals for the Bears whenever they were doing that whole thing. Chuck Pagano was up there. A lot of my former coaches were up there. A lot of people that have seen me kick field goals were like, yeah, this could be the right guy for the job. Also with the situation going up there where it seemed like the kicking was cursed. You know what I mean? After the Robbie Gould situation. And then as I was thinking about it all, I like watched a moment happen. I think it was a different sport. I forget what it was. I was watching, and the guy was like, I think it was a free throw. And the guy was sitting there and was like, all right, have to make this or the team loses. You know, like making one to win, okay, is obviously what everybody would love. Yeah. But the making one to tie or fucking lose, where you're not even going to be remembered in this thing. You know what I mean? This is going to be, that's the one. And I remember trying to put myself in that guy's position, and I was like, I don't want that right now. No way do I want to sign back up for that. For the fucking Bears? Man, jogging out onto the field, you got a 45-yarder in Chicago that's like, 45 yarders people make, like on a very regular basis, expected to make here. And then you got like a fucking 22-mile-an-hour wind to the right. It's like,
maybe on your back, though.
Tough.
Do I want to do that right now?
For a team that's got no chance of winning anything.
Would be sick. Obviously, would be a sick moment to make.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool thing. But like golf, it's this big on make or miss. Like doing something, and this is also comparing very different things, but like WrestleMania, for instance.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's a moment where there is like, hey, have to deliver. Yeah. There's a lot of people. There's shit happening. You got to do it. But like, it's a much... I don't want to say it's like it's more fail safe, you know? Yeah. Like kicking a field goal, if you're off by like you miss by that much, that's a miss. Your life's over. You are ruined, ruined by everybody for it. In golf, it's the same fucking thing. If he's 2 inches away, tap in to win, and you rim that out, I mean that could break you forever. Oh yeah. You know, it's like that's a tough.
The longer you go, can you imagine in golf, the longer you go, say it's the guys that are really good without winning a major or whatever, like, can you imagine, like, the longer you don't do that, the harder it gets, too.
Just stacks.
That's what's so tough.
Like Ricky Fowler.
Exactly.
When he made that putt, and it was like, it was the whole world getting off of his shoulders.
Going down, too.
Oh.
Talk about a roller coaster.
You're Rory right now with majors.
Yeah.
It's this.
He's another guy.
It's that big. It's that big.
It's that big.
What did Tiger do? Well, he hit the spot that was that big the best.
Every time.
Just fucking better than everybody forever. That big.
Right on the line.
Hey, why is Justin Tucker better? Well, he hits the fucking, it's like that big. The spot that he has to hit to make the ball go perfectly end over end. And it appears as if he's actually somehow has an opposable thumb on his foot and he grabs it and just throws it right where he fucking wants to go. Yeah, that's because he hits this spot that's this fucking big. It's incredible. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I guess I did it for a while, but it was like I was nowhere near what they were with that whole thing. In the golf game, I don't know how they get good after you're bad, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like most guys don't. Like, we only hear about a couple guys. Who
Brooks bounced back.
Yeah, right. Yep. And Ricky just did, but his has kind of been the same thing. Like, he's never won a major, you know? So, like, he won a tournament, but, like, very rarely, I feel like once guys do get the yips, like they're done for.
And they talk about getting older and you can play till you're 60 or whatever, to how long you asked them. It's like, how do you keep the competitive stamina?
Yeah, wanting to.
Until you're 60. You know, AJ?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that's what you heard Lucas say. Like, well, that's the great thing about this sport. You can kind of play as long as you want if you hold up. I think that's like a huge thing when you're, say you make it on the PGA Tour, live, whatever. When you're like 30, you're thinking, all right, I need to do this the rest of my life. But you go into any other professional sport, you're like, if I get 10 years, I'm very lucky. So I think golf is cool where they probably think 50 years ahead. I would.
I think it is very cool, but Lucas Glover's been grinding, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Remember Pat Perez, the reason why I went to live or whatever, he's like, for 25 years, I haven't been home. Okay? I've been on the road for 25 years. That's what the golf is. Wednesday, I'm doing a pro-am, so Tuesday I have to be in. I'm living in an Airbnb or a hotel that I'm paying for with my caddy. Then Thursday, we're off. Friday, we're off. If you get lucky enough to make the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, then restart that on Tuesday the next week for 9 months.
Terrible.
Pretty much like that. It's like, damn. We didn't, that whole swing the win thing.
Yeah, full swing.
Full
Full
swing.
swing, yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Really changed the
Swing to
perspective.
win. That's a good name, too.
Swing to win. Maybe that's our maybe that's our golf gear name.
Swing to win.
Swing. You got to swing to win.
That's right.
Yep.
pretty good.
Yeah. You got to play to win. That's the lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did somebody win that?
Oh yeah.
Yes, someone did.
How much?
I forgot. Was it Florida?
Yeah.
1.5 billion or something.
Yeah,
Florida.
1.3,
Whoa.
1.4.
One person? One?
Yeah, they're ending up with 500.
Was it a Florida man?
They're taking the one-time payment?
Was it a Florida?
I thought it was a Florida woman.
Florida woman?
I thought.
Is that the same search results as a Florida man?
Yeah, we actually saw one yesterday.
A Florida woman?
Yeah.
She killed her older roommate, her mother, and then poured a bunch of Diet Mountain Dew on her to cover all the evidence.
Yeah. Get rid of the DNA.
Yeah. Mountain Dew.
Diet Dew. Didn't work.
Did it work?
Turns
Oh,
out.
it didn't work?
But
Oh. You got to use regular Dew.
But that's Florida. You know, they probably thought it did.
I just got a correction. Those are two different incidents, but they both did happen. So you guys just combined a couple different things into one story there.
No, that's exactly what happened.
I was going to say.
Who gave you that false information?
There's
Somebody
probably-
well actually'd in my ear. I just want to let you know, somebody well actually'd, and he's an Italian, and he's in the way back.
He was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong. 1,000%.
Well, we can't be having this happen now, can we?
Get on the mic. What happened?
Yeah,
Nick, why don't we go ahead and settle this? So there was a Diet Mountain Dew poured over a body, and somebody got arrested for it.
I'll find it.
And it wasn't their mom or whatever that Tone said. These are two different stories.
No, that happened.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about.
So what are you saying?
It was not the person who won the lottery.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
say
no,
that.
we're not saying that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
You thought we were saying the person that won the lottery poured Diet Mountain Dew after a murder?
Yeah.
This show is the
Talking about Florida man and woman, and if it's the similar thing.
This show is the fucking best, dude. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you for that.
No, the person that won the lottery
just
did
clear
not, did not do the Dew thing.
I did not think that was.
That's on me.
Yeah.
Would have been funny though. Yeah.
Yeah, got so pumped.
Actually, gonna have to return all that money. Why
Yeah.
is that? Well,
Well,
fucking killed somebody.
Yeah.
Body
Killed my
slammed.
elderly roommate.
I just
Mountain
there's something
Dew.
happened here in Indiana where a lady, she was either doing the investigating herself or hired a PI. Went into a bar here in Indianapolis. Her boyfriend was with another woman.
Oh, I think I saw this.
Not a Cheaters episode. There was no cameras, but there was
Okay.
surveillance footage
Yes.
from inside the bar. So when girlfriend walks in to bar, knowing that boyfriend and side piece are in there, walks in, she has like a hair wrap bonnet type thing on. That's how you recognize her walking through the bar. She starts throwing hands with side piece.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Side piece and girlfriend start throwing hands. Boyfriend in the middle, classic Cheaters episode. Come on, come on. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. And then they all get kicked out
Sure.
Makes
from
sense.
the bar.
Okay.
But the boyfriend and side piece, they did order food, and they did already pay, so they waited for their food.
I like that.
Okay, I don't know what they got. Chicken tenders, maybe mott sticks.
Yep.
Ooh,
It
good
was
order.
worth it, whatever it was. So, girlfriend already been kicked out. Boyfriend side piece come out. Girlfriend runs over. Boyfriend kills him. Dead.
Wow.
Dead.
Holy shit.
didn't
Kills
even
who?
get to eat his last
Both of
meal.
them?
Boyfriend dead. Yeah.
How'd she do it?
This
Side
happened
piece.
right. He's dead.
How'd she do it?
She drove his ass over.
Oh, that's
Oh
awesome.
my
Side
With a
piece
car.
alive?
I don't know what happened. The caption I read was, boyfriend dead after jaded girlfriend catches him cheating in bar or something.
You got to keep your head on a swivel.
Like to see what
coming out
this
of that
is
bar.
here. This seems like it's out of a reality show. Yeah, he got murdered there. So I think she's going to jail a long time.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Hopefully he had his last meal first.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, he took it on the go because they
Yeah.
wouldn't let him eat it in there. Remember, because they were fighting. I
Kicked
think.
his ass out. Yeah.
Well,
Girlfriend,
had
though,
food
he
in
got
it.
out, picked up the food off
I was
the
going to say,
ground,
hopefully,
right?
hopefully someone did.
Indianapolis woman on trial for murder accused of tracking cheating boyfriend to bar, then running over with car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a GPS device on him. That's how she knew where he was. Yeah.
In Castleton?
Man.
Really?
Probably not the first time she's tracked him down and been violent. If you run someone over with your car, I mean, you may have done something similar before that.
Might have had a bad day, though.
Yeah, it feels like you have the ability
you're
to
right.
turn off
Yeah.
any sort of
That's true. Yeah, she might have had a lot going on.
guardian.
Yeah.
Rational thought.
She might have, not had her favorite snack or something that day.
Yeah, she had the Apple AirTag on him.
I told you about them.
On his street.
geez.
They were.
On his,
These
probably in
things
his
are a
pants.
problem.
They're
Well, yeah, if you're going to cheat on your girlfriend, Tilly's pup,
That's right.
Don't do
I
that.
mean, it might be a little bit of a problem.
What kind of car?
She worked
What if it was
herself
his
up into
cousin?
a
What if it
tizzy.
wasn't a side piece?
And on June 2nd, she had worked herself up into a tizzy, and she needed to confront him and the woman she knew he was
Worked
with.
herself to a shoot.
Yeah, she was in a tizzy, bro. She was not happy.
The prosecutor said tizzy. That's nice.
About sick of it. Anyways, hope everybody remains okay and doesn't get hit by any cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, stay safe.
Yeah.
Look,
Head on
look
swivel
both
up
ways.
there.
That made me think that Cheater show had a good run till the guy got stabbed.
Yeah,
on
correct.
the boat, right?
Yep.
I think they brought it back.
They did. I saw a preview just yesterday of some. I don't know who's hosting it, but yeah.
Yeah, when the wife and I were in Chicago, I was watching a television set at a different time than I would normally be watching it.
Sure.
And I saw it, different host. A little bit more of an antagonizer, this host.
Okay.
This host is looking for the boat action.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a female, right? Isn't it a female host? I think I saw.
I don't, yes.
The one I saw, she was from another show, but I don't know what show she was from.
I
Some
don't-
reality show.
It might have been, I don't know, maybe they're doing, I think it was a dude when I watched it. But anyways, antagonizing.
Oh, yeah.
Like really.
Makes for good TV.
Bam, this is what you did. Then you start thinking about all those trash TV shows that were on back in the day. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. What a time.
Yeah, man. Steve Wilkos.
What a time. Well, Steve Wilkos' show was actually, people think like Maury Povich's was the wildest.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, because like you are the father, you lied,
Sure,
that whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I think he's selling like father things now.
Oh.
Tests. DNA
Oh, like
tests.
paternity tests and stuff
Or
like
lie
that.
detector test, something like that. He's into that game now. That's smart because that's what he was alongside. Jerry Springer, obviously awesome.
Right.
Steve Wilkos, his show was real serious.
Oh, yeah, dark.
Do you remember? Like you're currently on trial right now, right? For potentially sexually assaulting your stepdaughter, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And this guy's just sitting on a chair out there in front of a crowd. And he's like, isn't that what you're doing? And Steve Wilkos would go up and like almost fight him.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
And then he would take a lie detector test. He would take a lie detector test, and then he'd come back out. He'd be sitting on an isolated chair. You lied. You did do. So we just found out this guy
Guilty.
is one of the worst humans of all time. Was it? And then there's like a fight immediately afterwards, and then they take that chair out, and then let's bring another
the
one
next
in.
one.
And it's just like a nonstop. I'm like, damn. Steve Wilkos is like the most serious
his was.
criminals here. That was a wild time in TV.
I kind of miss it.
He was a real cop, though. Steve was a real cop, though. Before he worked security for Jerry. Jerry's was way more wild than Maury Povich.
I think Jerry's
Chicago
was,
legend too.
Jerry's was more like fighting and fake, probably a little setup.
Whoa,
thing.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's a mayor of Cincinnati. I can say it. I'm from Ohio.
Jerry was really good.
Jerry was a work.
It was.
Brother.
A good one though.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the creativity.
Yeah, greatest work of all time.
Entertaining TV.
I love everything about it. The Iron Sheik was actually on.
Yeah.
There was a lady messing around on her husband with the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
no.
yeah, the booking was incredible there. So Jerry obviously wild, okay? Yeah. Maury Povich though, there were some moments out of
They
it.
went in.
Oh, yeah.
The celebrations.
Yeah,
Oh my God, the devastation. Oh, Maury had it all.
it did.
Maury, and he just always had his fucking legs crossed.
Yep.
Casual, how you doing? Keep it moving. He did a little scared straight too, didn't he? Maury Povich had like a big, like a sergeant come in, yell in somebody's face,
Yeah.
put him in jail.
Yeah, to like they'd bring in like 4 different teens who like were just acting out and doing crazy shit, and yeah, they did their own little scared straight with all them. Oh yeah.
And then there would be like a tearjerker at the end because the drill sergeant would have like feelings for one of these kids.
Yeah. I used to be like you.
And you cry.
Yep.
Then Maury would make you laugh.
Yeah.
When that lady didn't know which one of the 75 dudes it could have been the father.
Exactly.
I have it narrowed down to 75.
Yep.
It's like, lady, how many vaginas you got?
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you remember that? Lady had 70.
Yes, that was my era. Like that was my era when those shows were big. But is there anything left like that? Is there any shows like that anymore?
I don't think so.
Nick said Chris Hansen's back, kind of. Not Chris Hansen himself, but a show just like
Similar show.
Is it YouTube?
Like
No, I think Chris Hansen himself is doing it on YouTube or something.
Really? He's doing cameos. I know that.
The Chris Hansen's doing it somewhere else.
I got a cameo from Chris Hansen for my birthday from the boys.
Yeah,
Yep.
That was pretty good to see him. It was pretty good. It was pretty good to see him in there. And obviously, he had that same voice that
Pizzazz.
ruined a lot of people's lives. But like, yeah, I think it's on net. A lot of terrible people's lives.
Yep.
Why don't you have a seat over here? The ones on Netflix that you watch, right? Isn't it?
I want to say
Deep sigh. That means, hey, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
it's not Netflix. It might be Hulu. Might be Mox. I can't remember. It's called Underage Undercover.
They're doing it. They're setting these Just free. How are these people these people?
Scum of the earth.
Right.
Good question.
Scumbags.
There seems to be no shortage of them either. They have no problem finding these people.
That's what I'm saying. The Chris Hansen
That's
episode.
the scary part.
How many seasons? They had like 100 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Nuts.
How is this?
Yeah,
Thanks
4
a
or
lot,
5 guys an
Subway.
episode.
What's that?
What?
Who?
I said thanks a lot, Subway.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right.
He's getting out soon.
No.
Yeah, I bet you'll be happier about
He
that.
is like
too.
2025 or something, I feel. I don't know how.
You have it circled on your calendar.
Yeah, you're gonna be waiting.
Oh, no,
for
I'm
him.
not a fan of Jared Fogle. Not at all. Absolutely not. But I know you guys hung out with him in a nightclub one time, so I want to make you aware that he will be out.
Not you guys. Not you guys.
I was on. He is from Indiana. Okay.
Yes.
And he was very popular. At the same time that I had money for the first time as well. So we did run into each other a couple of different times. One time, which AJ is referring to, he was in bottle service section next to me.
Yeah.
And
With
Jared
Gary
Fogle
from Teen Mom.
Gary from Teen Mom was there. Yeah, it's a real deal. Jared Fogle, Gary from Teen Mom, and then we were the next thing over. Indiana was really, really going then.
Yep.
I mean, that was a real time.
Crazy run.
Who's who?
Nope. That's a long sentence to say, but I do appreciate the information. I have no idea what he just said.
Okay.
Nice.
But
Not here.
I think there's a new chef at Lucas Oil Stadium. A new executive chef for Lucas Oil Stadium has prepared a menu for fans at Indianapolis Colts game. The team and its hospitality vendor said on Monday. Okay, this is good news. So the Colts have notoriously been known to have terrible food in their stadium. Every media member from other places says Lucas Oil Stadium, real nice. I think they gave us like nachos with cold cheese.
Cold cheese, yeah.
I think and hot dogs in there. So whenever we got a suite last year, we were excited to experience the whole thing. I think there's a lot of question marks. Now they get a new chef in there. This is big news, Zito. Thank you for this. Colts making good moves. Huh?
This is a big
good
move.
moves.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's usually a company like Aramark or whatever has the whole place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, whatever company it was.
That pizza was delicious, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just bring your own.
That's probably
Stuff
the
some
first
like
that has to
Chipotle
go.
burritos.
The brisket and the steak with.
You say
the cheese.
stuffed Chipotle burritos?
Yeah, like I used to do, like going to movies. Used to bring burritos in with us to the movie theater.
I think burritos is an aggressive thing to take into the movie theater, but I
In
appreciate
the winter, you wear your coat and put it in your coat pocket.
Have you seen what Tone Diggs got? Tone Diggs got 4 pockets right now, basically.
Let me see.
First off, what you're doing is illegal, brother.
No.
What's that?
Making you stand up?
No.
Sneaking a
I'm
burrito.
bringing
Sneaking a burrito.
burritos in.
Oh, it's not illegal. No, I pay to get into the movie.
Oh.
You did. Me too. Hey, listen, there was some real the burrito. I don't think I ever.
Those guys work hard though.
I don't think anybody attempted the burrito.
You're killing the theater.
Yeah, you are stealing money out of those writers'
No,
pockets.
I buy 4 extra tickets. Every time I bring a burrito, I buy 4 extra seats just to make up for it.
Nice.
So why are you hiding the burrito then?
That's a lie.
I don't hide it. I don't hide it at all. I
you
just
come
want to
in
eat the
like this?
burrito. I just want to eat it.
Are they-
I mean, this was college, really.
Is the writers thing happening? What's going on there? Are they...
Yeah, they're still striking strong.
Okay, so is there an end in sight?
I don't think so, no.
Can't they just say because this is going to be a deal with a bunch of studios, so there's a lot of different people that they're going to have to negotiate with. Can't they just have a different contract that they want to pitch out to the studios? Say like, hey, if you want us to do this, this is what it's going to take, and this is the contract we're all signing.
I would assume so, yeah.
Has that happened?
No. And we're a ways away.
What's that mean?
There's no end in sight. I haven't.
Are they even talking?
So what does this mean? Like, let's say
There's picketing.
Doomsday. This happens forever. We never a movie again? Is that what they're
No,
saying?
we'll just be watching British
Internet.
movies.
No.
So how
Independent
long?
movies. That's all you're going to see.
Yeah, well, independent movies, are they striking with these people? How long until somebody says like, we'll make independent movies over here?
It's kind of starting to happen already a little bit.
Do anything non-SAG, right? You just can't have
Yes.
SAG involved.
I mean, animation. They could do anything with animation still, I feel like.
No, because the
They're not-
people
I
who
don't
are
know.
voicing
Yeah.
the characters are still.
Oh, yeah. You'd have to get different actors.
And the
for
people
that.
writing the movie.
So we're assuming that their unions are going to stay firm together, strong together.
I would imagine it'll probably end within the next couple months. Like once football starts and like this isn't as much on like the periphery as it is right now, where there's kind of nothing else going on. So like people want to go see movies and like TV and stuff like that. But once like football starts and that kind of, and granted, everyone isn't watching football, but everyone kind of is watching football. So like I have a feeling that they might kind of pull back a little bit and realize like, okay, we need to make some concessions.
I don't do a lot of entertainment stuff. Everybody knows that. Don't watch a lot of movies. Don't watch a lot of shows. I watch football and wrestling. Okay, I apologize, but I do love a good scripted flick.
Oh yeah.
I like a good talent. You know what I mean? Just watch Hijack. Loved everything about it. I don't know necessarily. I don't think the humans are on the writer's side though. Is that wrong or am I right in that?
Like the general public?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like this is a big like groundswell, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like the writers are obviously all on the writer's side, and then all the actors came in and supported them because they were like, yeah, without the writers, we don't have anything to actually do. But actually, now that the writers are bringing it up, like, we want to get fucking paid better as well. So then they kind of went on strike. The big thing is they're just saying the studios are making so much money, the studio heads are making so much money, and a lot of these people, they don't even have livable wages. They just want a little bit to wet their beaks, and they're not getting it.
They want insurance because don't you have to make like over $27K to get insured from SAG, I believe, and they're like, I've seen the actors say
that's
there's
part of it.
90% of people in SAG make under $27,000 a year. Like the majority of people don't make enough to even get covered.
Well, that is also part of the problem. Is I think like it's very, very easy to get your SAG card. So like a lot of these people, like there are a bunch of people who have these who it's like, well, yeah, you've acted in things before, but like you can't like you're not an actor as like your full-time job because you make $6,000 a year. Like it doesn't work like that.
But just like when the NFL is negotiating CBA, the union is representing all 53 players on the roster. And then those people outnumber the people that are at the top. So then the negotiations seemingly last a lot longer because there's a lot to figure out. Yeah. I hope they figure it out. I hope everybody gets paid.
AI is also a massive focal point as well.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
What are they saying? It exists. We don't like it. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, you can make movies, right?
Taking our job.
Yeah, they want to make sure that AI is not just going to start fucking writing every goddamn movie out there.
Well, I heard AI is writing books under actual authors' names.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Like R.L.
Wait till they start using the music.
No.
Not
like, can AI write your like, say I'm in college and I have to write a 10-page paper. AI will do it, right?
Yep. You just type it into
But
chat.
will they know? Can they tell? The teacher?
I would assume so. Yeah, you just got to kind of edit it up. But yeah, there have been papers submitted.
The teacher would probably just go search for it, right, on the AI.
You got to change it up. You got to change it up a good bit. You get a good outline, though.
Yeah, get your flavor in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your flavor in there. But
Somebody-
you should be writing your own papers.
You should.
Yeah, somebody submitted one with the beginning of the Chat GPT that actually says, like, because I am an AI, I haven't actually read this entire book, and they forgot to delete that part out.
Hey, that's going to get you whenever you're like real late.
Yeah.
Copy, paste.
Print.
Fuck it.
Bam. Send in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get busy. My birthday was on finals week.
Ooh.
That was tough.
Brutal.
That was tough. There were some papers doing some things. It's like those were some long nights over there in Morgantown. They're all moved back in. Did you see that? Morgantown's back to being packed. And the old classic meme is hit the internet where all these freshmen that are coming into Morgantown are like, Morgantown has no idea what's about to happen to it with me coming to town. And it's like Morgantown is undefeated.
Morgantown.
That's like the classic Vegas.
Yeah, bingo. Morgantown is ready for everybody that's coming in there. Just like that Arizona State athletic director, that scumbag, who said he'll never go to Morgantown.
What?
You're missing out, bud. Because West Virginia, what are we doing this year, Pat?
We're going to win.
And then
win.
And then
win.
And then
win.
That's what's happening, AJ.
Let's go.
That's what's happening. And
Can't wait. We're taking the over?
For what?
5.5.
5.5 wins for West Virginia. You knew my question, too. Don't try to buy time.
Yes.
Pac-Man is in for that.
Okay.
And you.
Nice.
I'm in.
What about you?
I'm in.
No, you don't feel. If I was on West Virginia's roster right now, I would not feel good that you are not confident in the squad.
I've gone to the
What's
top
the coach's name?
of
Coach's
the
name again?
highest coach.
Neil Dahn.
Neil Brown.
Hope we didn't show this to the team and say, hey boys, our guy who really pubs us hard. He's doubting you. Maybe you're going to put the chip on their shoulder that gets him over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chip on the shoulder is of confidence, pal. Going into Happy Valley running wild. What are we talking about them there? I don't know if I want to bet on these kids. Okay. That's what I've.
So you're not taking the over.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would like to just enjoy the ride with them. I'm going to be so emotionally invested. I don't necessarily need to be actually gambling invested.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, they're going to win 6 games and go to a bowl game, obviously. They're West Virginia. That is what West Virginia is at least going to do. And have you seen any of the clips that have come out of practice?
Yeah.
The boys are buzzing. Neil Brown's balling. And that's Garrett Green with the good hair. Okay?
Is that new?
Yeah.
He's changed his look.
Yeah, you're damn
He's a
right. It's a
badass,
new
though.
year, bro.
Got goatee.
We're at different altitudes.
Let's go.
Nice slow mo.
So
I like
over 5.5.
Yeah.
Ooh, PBU.
Yeah, I did see a nice PB. You see the break on the ball there? And then our money's paying off. Look how fast that guy is gone.
He is fast, actually.
He's paid. Oh, we're just dropping balls in buckets.
Oh, PBU.
That's good defense. That's against our fourth stringer. There's Garrett Green running wild, brother.
Sweet flow out the back, too.
So you'd suggest to the good people watching to put their money on West Virginia over 5.5.
Yes.
All right, let's get to a.
That's what you would suggest.
Let's get to today's giveaway.
Just wondering.
I don't think other people should do what I'm doing.
Sure.
I am emotionally attached.
Yes.
I get it.
And you are taking the over.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Because of that, you think they're going to win 12 games, and you're just like, hey, guys, I want your expectations to be normal. I'm emotionally invested in this squad.
Yes, we're going to the college football playoff. That is how I feel.
Cool. Before it even expands, right? So when it's just 4 teams.
Hard to get in. That's the way we like it. Okay? Big 12, power conference. Welcome to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody's saying the big this, the big that. West Virginia is still in the big whatever.
Yeah.
And will be forever. People are excited to come into the West Virginia conference. Texas, Oklahoma leaving, who cares? Is West Virginia still there? They are. Sweet.
Hell yeah.
That's what's happening. We're winning the Big 12, then we're winning the college football playoff, then we're going to win the national championship. That's what this West Virginia team is doing. Now, that's a tough schedule. Tough schedule. Don't know a lot of guys on the team.
Really tough schedule.
Only human I know is Garrett Green. That's the quarterback. And that's the only reason why I know him, because he's Garrett Green. Seems like a great guy. I don't know anybody else on the team.
Okay, that's fine.
We're going to be all right.
We got a running back that I know we paid. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a wide receiver that I think we paid. I think he's good. There's a Morgantown native that caught that ball. I don't know his name. He's good, though. Fast. He's going to be scrappy.
All right.
Did you have any guys from Morgantown or around that, like within an hour or two of the school?
Well, Pittsburgh.
We got the player of the year in Pittsburgh. They said West Virginia.
Pittsburgh's like hour and a half. My house, East Hills of Pittsburgh, to Morgantown, which is through Pittsburgh down here, like hour and a half. So pretty close.
That's nothing. Yeah,
Easy.
it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. A lot of Pittsburgh stuff. All right, let's kick some balls. You got to catch them.
You go, Pack. Here we
Let's go, Pack. Come on, buddy.
Don't drop them like this morning.
That's right. All right, so he's got to catch 4 of these, right?
Did.
Yeah.
Yep, 4 of them. Or 5, maybe.
Nah, because this ball's super flat. So I don't want to put him in the slot.
You got to keep it pretty low.
Well, it's Thunderdome. It's Thunderdome. You going one-handed? Yeah, let's go. All right. If he catches 4 of these things one-handed, we'll give
4 balls.
How about 5 people per ball, so 20 people.
20 people.
Okay.
Guys, one of you has to have a mic.
20 people, $20.
Jeez.
Boom.
20 people,
$20.
$500.
Or 20 people, one of those Baby Dukes.
I don't know if we have the.
I don't know if we have 20 of these.
Okay.
Logistics.
Supply
right
chain.
now.
Yeah, supply chain.
Rubber balls, little Baby Dukes. 20 people, $500 if Pac-Man can catch 4 of these.
Sounds good.
Good luck, Pac-Man. Oh, that's an easy one right off the bat.
Yeah, this isn't even a challenge.
You just got to hold him, dude. That one's.
Oh!
Nice. Here we go. Last one.
Come on, Pac, for the people.
Here you go, Pac.
Hey, what do we say, Pac?
Come on, Pac. Oh, he did a little 360.
Yeah!
Boy, Pac.
Now Bill's turn.
Good work, Pac.
Bill.
Good work,
Now
Pac.
Bill's turn.
Now all you got to do.
Mitt.
Bill,
Good job.
Yeah.
put the camera
Where's
down.
Bill?
No, keep.
Here we go.
Hey, make him work. Make him run. Bill can run. You could punt all
Bill
over.
does this.
Yeah.
Bill does this. We'll add an extra 5. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go,
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
500 grand or just a.
Extra 5 people.
Okay.
This is big motor. He can do this with his eyes.
Come on, Bill.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
Uh-oh.
Bill.
No.
Let him use 2.
No, 2's
Let him
easy.
use 2. It's a Baby Duke.
I literally just put it in his chest.
A little higher.
Come on, Motor. Come on, Motor.
I'm missing that one.
All right.
Go back, Bill. Sorry about that, Bill.
Not easy as it look, Bill.
It's
Don't
not
worry
about
it,
putting
Bill.
you back there to catch a pump. We're just trying to hand the ball off to Bill.
Yeah, big
And
motor.
You know Forrest Gump, where they catch a kickoff, they run it over, they give it to Forrest Gump, and then he just runs.
He's out.
That's what we're doing for Bill.
Yep. Yeah.
20 people, $500. All you got to do is retweet this tweet and say something nice to somebody. And also put in there however we can pay you the most efficiently and quickly. We appreciate you all so much. Hell of a show today, boys. Way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Big thanks to Lucas Glover coming out here, chit-chatting about golf and life. Arthur Smith, Zach Taylor. And we got preseason week 2 starting tomorrow. Here we go. Let's have a time. Let's have a day. We'll see you tomorrow. You all are the best people on earth. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Goodbye.